How does this work? 안 되지? 아, 이상하다. Hey guys. 안녕하세요. 오. Can I change it to the other one? 이렇게 하면 Oh wow. Nice. Is portrait okay, or should I switch to landscape? Wow, I got your book. Thanks for publishing. 안녕하세요. 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 Hello. 안녕하세요. Hey guys. Currently releasing the Hangul. Oh, really? Cool. 아, 괜찮아요. Okay. I'll just keep doing this. I don't mind it. I just checked. I was gonna start this stream like before I hit 100,000, but like I'm just right now. You can see. Oh, we switched camera. I'm at 99999 subscribers. Oh man, check it out. I have to see like a live subscriber feed. Let's see here. Subscriber count. Let's put in GoBillyKorean. See, it's a little bit different depending on which device I look at. But on my YouTube channel, it's like 100,000 or 99. But I think we're good. I think we hit it. I think we're at it. This is so crazy. I'll create another account and subscribe. No, I don't think that works. Okay, man. Okay, doesn't want me to do that then. How many books have you sold? I'm not quite sure. I've never counted. In the beginning, I counted, and then I stopped counting. Congratulations. 안녕하세요. Congrats. Thanks, guys. Oops. I think I accidentally deleted a message. I've never used this app before. I just started learning Hangul a couple weeks ago. Your videos are most helpful. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I want to make videos that you guys... Are you making a fourth book? No, I'm not working on a fourth book. I wrote an outline for a fourth book, but instead I'm actually making workbooks for the original books. And when I release those will be, I'll try to make them really affordable. So they'll be really cheap, but it'll be a thick workbook for each of the books, which will just be extra practice. But if everything goes well, I'd like to make that before the end of the year, but we'll see. I already finished like the first 2 or 3 drafts, but I need to write another draft and then another draft and then format. So it still takes a little more time. Can you notice me by saying my user? IAVUXEL. I can't pronounce it though. Your son's terrible. Thank you. But we'll see. I'm also working on, I have another dialect video that I haven't uploaded yet, but I finished it, that I'm really excited to show you guys when it's done. Here, let me see if I can just show you guys a clip of it. It's my new favorite video. And it's gonna be a video about North Korean dialect. Let's see if I can find it here. North Korean dialect. Here we go. There's no sound because I don't have my sound. Let me turn on my speaker sound. I actually finished the video. I'm not gonna post it for another month or so. What is this? Some North Korean drama? Anyway, so I'm not gonna show the whole thing, but I made like a North Korean drama. So I'm like speaking North Korean dialect. 이랬다. 신호 봐라. 어머나. And then I have like the regular lesson about dialect.
Now there are actually several dialects.
Talk about.
Also, the vowel "all" is put in to replace foreign words. For
So I talk about the video.
Hand phone. Okay, that one's kind of cute. Many common North Korean words and expressions are also different. In North Korea, it's fine to call a friend 동무, which means comrade.
Yeah.
But if you do that in South Korea, it just sounds like you're communist. 반갑습니다, 동무들. And to say that something.
Anyway,
okay,
so I don't want to play the whole video because it kind of spoil it. But I have that video about North Korean dialect, which will come up, which I'm really happy about that one. Where do you get the Korean books? They have them on Amazon, but other countries, they're probably best to get on bookdepository.com. New GoBilly video leak, yeah. I'll share a little bit with you guys. I don't want to play the whole thing. Let me see if I messed it. My students love your dialect. Oh, you have you're a teacher. Oh, that's cool. See, 한국어를 가르쳐줘서 감사합니다. Thanks, guys. Hi, Billy from Puerto Rico. Oh, cool. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments I missed. Super Bean says, congrats. Thanks. Silver play button. Yeah, I'm not sure when the silver play button will come, but when that comes, I'll make a post about it. 빌리고 짱이다. Thanks. 안녕 동물들, not 동물들. 동무들, not 동물. 사랑합니다, 고객님. 고객님. Yeah, I just hit 100,000. Right now it depends. Like if you look at it, some places it's 100, 107, but it's about 100. We just hit it. 조선말, 조선어 ancient dialect? Gosh, that would be interesting. I've never studied, actually that's not true. I have studied Old Korean before, but that might be a big video because it really depends like where in Korea you were at each time, depending how you speak. Like nowadays, everyone has media, everyone has TV, so anywhere you go in Korea, everyone's gonna understand the standard dialect. And even North Korea, they'll all understand standard Korean dialect. But if you go back in time, say even 200 years or less than that, then everywhere you are, it's gonna be a little more and more different. If you go back really far, like back toward maybe like Joseon, early Joseon, it's completely unintellectual from, I don't know, what's that word? You can't understand it. Koreans wouldn't be able to understand it very well. The stuff that they speak in the, like, what do you call it? Like the 사극, those historical dramas, that's not what it actually sounded like. That's regular Korean with some old style endings and some old style words that they throw in. That's not how they actually talked. Just like if you listen to a Shakespeare play, that's not how people actually talked. It would be unintelligible. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to. Yeah, so it's not going to be very accurate. I could maybe do a video about like actual Joseon, like old style Korean. That might be just a very big video. So I'll think about that. Maybe we'll see. Maybe another year or so from now. 심한 구독 축하드려요. Okay. 한국 사람이지만 잘 보고 있습니다. Oh, thanks. 아니 대체 왜 한국 사람이 보고 있는지 좀 모르겠는데. 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 그래도. Sometimes my family says Korean not worth learning, but I know it is. Well, why is Korean worth it to you? What do you think? I think, not everyone has to learn Korean. I don't mind if people want to or don't want to learn Korean. I love when they do, but you should learn if you want to learn. Like, there doesn't have to be any reason to learn a language. Like, it doesn't have to be Korean. If you wanted to learn like Urdu or Javanese or, Klingon or whatever, random languages, if you want to do it, then it's a hobby. You can do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter if someone says it's not worth it. It's not worth it to them, but it could be worth it to you. 가이로님. 가이로님 왜 왔어요? Theory 가이야. 대대체. 역시. Kaya is a guy that I know from another stream I did. What's your favorite K-pop group? I don't listen to K-pop very much, but that doesn't mean I don't like K-pop. I just don't listen to it very much. I know one producer I really like is called Primary, and 한국어는 영어보다 훨씬 더 아름다워. Primary, and I used to like 이효리 in the past. Nowadays, though, I don't listen to too many recent K-pop celebrities, so I wouldn't be able to know too much. K-pop boy group, I would have to say probably Super Junior, because that's the only that's one of the ones that I know pretty well. Super Junior, I like them. I think they're kind of funny. Korean Saturday Night Live is hilarious. I still don't speak Hangul very well. Oh, really? I'll be going to Korean church tomorrow. Would you have any advice? What should I expect? Any etiquette? No. It's going to be pretty similar to any regular other American church. It's, a social event, so people go to meet people. Motivate Korean에서 Jeremy 어떻게 만났어요? That's a good question. How did I meet Jeremy? I think I met him online. And then as soon as I messaged him online, he's like, yeah, let's meet. And we met in Korea for the first time. And I met him like twice in Korea, and then I met him like 3 or 4 times here. Do you have any plans to release more books? Yes, currently I'm working on a workbook for Korean Made Simple 1, which is not done, but the draft is done, so it will get finished. And I'm working on something else. I'm working on a game, actually. I'm working on a computer game, which I can't show you guys yet because it doesn't have a demo, but it is going to be pretty awesome when it's done. And I might do a Kickstarter for the game because if I finish it, it would need a lot of artwork. So I'll see, but that's going to be really cool. It's going to be a game that you can use to practice and learn Korean with. So I'm excited about that, and it's completely my own idea. Hage? No. 볼빨간 사춘기. Sure. Let's see, K-drama. Korean drama, I really like the TV show Signal. Whoa, what was that? Whoa, I can zoom in. Whoa. I've never used this app before, so I'm like learning about it. I really like the TV show Signal, which aired, I think, 2 years ago, and that was great. But I don't watch too much Korean drama, or variety shows, or TV, or movies, or anything like that. I really like Korean for the language above anything else. I just want to say I just bought all 3. Oh, well, awesome. Thanks, man or woman. Lila Bitaplo. I'm going to guess it's a girl from the name, but I'm not sure because the name kind of sounds cute. Malaysia. Oh, you're watching from Malaysia. Cool. They sometimes pray out loud at the same. Yeah, I think that might be similar to other ones. Dialect is North Korean dialect, different South Korean dialect, separated into 2 languages divided. Yeah, actually, North Korean that was the most surprising thing I found out while researching for my North Korean video, was that North Korean, because I started researching for it right after I finished the South Korean video, because I knew people would ask for it, and I've been researching it for over a year, and a lot, especially since last November, been doing lots of research into North Korean dialect. And the most surprising thing I found out was just that North Korean dialect isn't that different than South Korean dialect, that there are many differences, but in general, they're very similar. And the reason for that I'll talk about in the video. But basically, the 2 countries had agreed a long time ago to keep their languages similar. So despite being separate for a long time, the languages themselves haven't changed that much, which is actually, I was really surprised to find that, because I had always assumed it was really different, because there's stereotypical North Korean dialect, which you might hear people say, like 반갑습니다, and stuff like that. It's like there's some stereotypical stuff you hear that they don't actually use in most of North Korea. Your books and videos help me and my friends. You consider fighting. Thank you. Keeping up fighting. Thank you. Greetings from Algeria. I don't even know where Algeria is. I'm sorry. I'm an American and they don't teach us very much geography here. Oh, Hanoi. I think that's Vietnam. I'm pretty sure Hanoi is Vietnam. Oops. It keeps doing that. I don't want to zoom. No. Okay. Starting Korean as right now I'm putting in a hold for my school. Oh yeah. It's hard to it's hard to learn languages with school. The hardest part of learning Korean, I think, is grammar and politeness levels. 안녕하세요 from 영국. Oh, are you 영국 남자? Love from India. You said you study Korean for more than 8 hours a day. Yes, I did. These days I don't study Korean that intensely. These days I'll study Korean a little bit each day. And every time I write my videos, I also research lots of things before I make my videos, because I don't want to teach because I'm not native Korean, I don't want to teach you guys anything incorrect. So I spend a lot of research for every video to make sure that what I'm writing is accurate. Let's see, how do Koreans treat black people? They love black people the same as white people. Some people might be a little bit more hesitant because they might think either they look scary or something, but it's not so much a racist thing as it is like they're really surprised to see someone who's black. But no, I think overall it should be fine. If you're a smiling person, you're gonna be pretty okay anywhere you go in Korea. If you have like a really mean face, then really it probably doesn't matter what your skin color is. Koreans might be afraid of you. So I started learning Hangul a week ago and I managed to memorize all of them. What do I do now? Focus on vocabulary. Grammar. Grammar is the most important thing to focus on. You will learn vocabulary, the basic vocabulary, you'll learn that automatically without studying it, just from doing grammar lessons. Pronunciation is also good to focus on too. I wouldn't worry about it too much, but if you're saying something wrong, like you know is wrong, I would work on fixing things that are really wrong. You can even email me and I'll give you personalized critique. Check out, I have a pronunciation video on my channel that if you watch it at the end, I give some tips in there, and I also give my email address so you can send me your clip and I'll critique it. And I do that a lot, actually. Like every week, 2 or 3 people will message me, and that's what I do a lot. Literally working for your second book right now. Awesome. Thanks. I only recently started learning Korean. I may have given up Word for yourself. Talk to me in Korean. Yes, I like talking in Korean as well. I'm going to meet them again in Korea this time. How long did you study before you started speaking? Immediately, I started trying to practice speaking. I'm the only Korean in my school, darn it. What's up, guys? You really look like Charlie Puth. I've heard that now like a million times that I look like Whoa, circus fan. I just saw the donation. Thank you for making your book. They're awesome and great to learn Korean. Thanks, man, circus fan. I just saw that. Sorry if I didn't read it. I'm trying to read everyone's comments here. How do Koreans treat foreigners who don't pronounce things very well? They will love you if you try. What would you do for the entire 8 hours? It would be about 3-4 hours of grammar and then 3-4 hours of different practice, which would be like vocabulary study, speaking practice, and listening practice, and other things. Because you can't just sit down and do 8 hours of grammar. Your brain would explode. Let's see. 감사합니다 for each of them. How long did it take you to learn Korean? I've been learning Korean for 13 years now. There is never really a time when you can say, I have learned Korean. I'm fluent, but I don't speak like a perfect Korean because I didn't grow up there. The same way someone who grew up in Korea wouldn't speak perfect English, even if they speak very well. But yeah, it's 13 years now. So yeah, a long time. Though you don't have to study 13 years to have conversations in Korean. When do you pronounce "syo" like an S or, well, whenever it comes at the end of a word, that's due to sound change rules. You'll pronounce it like a T, like tigut. So like internet, like internet. But whenever it comes in the middle of a word and it's followed by the iung, the circle, it'll flow through. So it'll make a shiot sound, an S kind of sound. I have the video about the learning Hangul, learning the alphabet that you can watch, which explains exactly how that happens. Besides Korea, I've been to Japan, I've been to Canada, and Hong Kong. And that's it. I also speak some Japanese, but my Japanese is, I'd say, conversational, not fluent. Help me learn the language, culture, and history. Oh, awesome. Sejong. Yeah, Sejong's really cool. Language learning software, Rosetta Stone. I hate to say this because technically they're like a competitor to my books, but if you search online, you'll find the majority opinion is that it's pretty garbage. I would avoid it. Do you have any tips for a first trip to Korea? I'm going this, keeps doing that. Going this summer. Oh, awesome. Be okay, like be open to trying new things. Like if you see something that's really strange, but Koreans are doing it, do it. Like if you have Koreans invite you to something, do it. Like if they say, hey, or drink. If you don't drink, you don't have to drink. But if you're okay with it, just drink, go to parties, do karaoke, hang out with Koreans, eat the food they eat, interact with Koreans as much as you can. You'll have a much better time than if you're trying to do a solo travel and only experience things you want to. Because, I'm trying to just scroll and it keeps making my face gigantic. What initially piqued your interest about the Korean language? I had some Korean friends in college and that kind of got me interested in it. But I was already interested in languages already. So that kind of, I easily moved into Korean. Love with Korean language, been studying for a couple months. I feel like I'm progressing very slowly. Study harder. If you're especially if you're at the very beginning, then if you study harder, you'll get more motivation. Let's prove Billy wrong. Pronounce this one. Gennip. I don't. What's the point of that? That's easy. Teaching even live, huh? No, I don't. I've never done a live stream before. This is my very first live stream, so you really do look like Charlie Puth. I swear I've heard that a million times. I wish I got a quarter every time someone said I look like Charlie Puth. I don't see it, but I've heard it enough now that I believe it. I can't sing like him though. I also follow you on Twitter and your meme. Thanks. I like my memes too. 369, yes, I have. I actually made a video where I played 369, but unfortunately the audio was destroyed because I didn't prepare well and it was windy, so I can't upload that, but it was pretty funny. Can you survive in Korea as a vegan? Yes, you can survive in Korea as a vegan. It's just harder. You'll have to be really picky. You'll have to pick out your own food every single day. Vegetarian in Korean or vegan in Korean is extremely difficult. I wouldn't be able to do it. So hats off if you can do that. Do you have plans for a fourth book? No, I don't have plans for a fourth book. The point of the third book was actually to, yeah, my camera thinks it's a horror flick. The point of the third book was actually to kind of give people a springboard to jump off and do their own thing. I don't want people to be reliant on me for their whole Korean journey. The point of it is I want people to be independent and be able to learn on their own. So that's kind of the purpose of the third book, was to kind of give as much as possible. That way Korean, you can do it by yourself. So I don't have plans for a fourth book after that. You learn Korean, what'd you do after learning Hangul? Start with a textbook or a course, because as a beginner, you just don't know what you need to do next. And if you learn one grammar point, you don't know, well, what grammar point should I learn next? What should I learn next? And courses will tell you. They say, do this, then do this, then do this, practice this. So it's kind of like having a class. Billy, I've learned a lot from you. Truly, thank you. How is Korean slang different from normal Korean? Faster, removing lots of particles, and tons of expressions that you don't use in normal Korean. I would say a lot faster too. Korean, I play the flute. Let's see. Great to see you. I'm in Seoul right now. Process on learning Korean. How we make Korean friends? We're not living in Korea. Hold on. Where's the blue hat and the shirt? Oh, okay. Those are right here. Also, there's an extra KeyCat. I actually have three KeyCats. Sabrina, Sherry, take care. This is a different one. You've seen this. This guy was in like 2 videos. And then the other KeyCat is here. I have another one in my room, so I have 3 now. They're all the exact same, but I was worried like one of them would get destroyed, and I can't film with KeyCat anymore, so I have 3 of them. Although there's only one in the video. There's only one of them. I do have conversational level of Japanese too. Oh, that's awesome. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Afraid of forgetting words. How many times do you review what you learn? Some words, you don't have to review them because they're so frequent. You hear them so frequently. But other words, you might have to review like 10 times or more. It gets easier to review words if you make a sentence when you review it. If you just try to learn a vocabulary word like really quickly with like Anki, or I actually made a video about learning vocabulary. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I talk about using Anki or Quizlet or Memrise or those tools. And the negative thing about them is it's so easy to just make gigantic decks of vocabulary and not review them. So one of the best things I think is any vocabulary you learn, to make sure that you make a practice sentence using it. Don't just learn the word by itself. Because if you make are you going to save this live? I might. You look a bit like Ewan McGregor. Hello there. Let's see. Your blog is really much helpful. Thank you so much. If you just learn the vocabulary word, you'll memorize it, but you won't be able to actually use it. So it's best to memorize the vocabulary word and also to be able to use it in a sentence. So perhaps writing down a sentence using that word, even if the sentence is wrong, at least the sentence should be in the form of how you would use it. So you can maybe check it with a Korean and they correct you. But if you make a sentence, you will remember the vocabulary much better. Understand written Korean, still can't understand spoken Korean. Yes, that only takes lots of exposure. And the best way to get exposure to that is conversation, not just speaking and not just listening. So no matter how many Korean dramas you watch, that's not going to make you a better speaker. You have to actually speak Korean, listen to Korean and get feedback on it and talk with someone. But at the very least, practice making sentences on your own. Even if you don't have anyone to practice with, just practicing speaking what you're writing as you're writing it will be fine. Or even reading what you're writing out loud, just to get more senses activated while you're doing that. Bought your ebook. It's very good and thorough. Keep it the awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah. I mean, Zoe, probably a girl. Zoe, thanks. Thanks, girl. Glad to see you've already hit 100K. Yeah. Since you had 50K or more. Yeah, I know. I went up from like 30,000 to 100,000 just, 85,000 last year. I like tripled last year. Do you like K-pop or K-drama? Not very much. I don't mind K-pop though. Some of it I like. Let's see. Remember how old you were when you started learning Korean? 18 or 19? It was right after I finished high school. Or actually, no, it was right after high school, right when I started college. That was when I first had my first Korean friends. How can I approach a Korean online in person to become friends with them? Chatting programs are really easy to do that because you can message lots of people and just wait for one or two to reply and then chat with them. So you don't have to be very good at it. You just have to be consistent. 투부! Oh, 투부님! 여기도 뵙네요. You should probably meet with Professor O. I'd like to. I think if she comes to Los Angeles, then I can meet up with her, or if she's ever in Korea at the same time I am. I'm 14 years old and want to say thank you for helping me to determine learn Korean. Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Cecile. Hi. Okay. My favorite way to memorize vocabulary is pronounce it wrong and have Korean. that works. That works too. You have to have a Korean though for every single word you say though. I can read Hangul. What do I need to learn now? Start learning grammar with a course now. Since you know the alphabet, you can pick any course you want and use it because it doesn't matter which course it is, as long as it has Hangul, as long as it's using the alphabet. I changed Siri to speak Korean, so I'm forced. Oh, that's good too. Yes, Siri's pronunciation and the Google translation pronunciation is actually accurate. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough. Just don't copy Siri's intonation or you're going to sound like a computer. You like, BTS. I don't know a single BTS song. I'm sorry. I just know about BTS. I know that they're super famous. I know it's a boy band in Korea, but I haven't heard a single one of their songs. I'm not up to date on K-pop so much. I listen to a lot of music, but the type of music I listen to, a lot of it is like music that helps me edit videos or helps me write or film videos because I'm always doing trying to make videos and planning videos. So I don't listen to music that would distract me from working usually. So yeah, I don't know any of their songs. If you recommend me one of their songs, I will listen to one of their songs. Scale 1 to 10, how hard was learning Korean? Well, considering Korean's my best language, so I'd have to say 10. I'd say it's extremely difficult in the beginning, but it does get easier. Who is Charlie Puth? He did that song from the movie Fast and Furious 8. And I'll see you again. I can't sing it. Spring Day, I Need You is a song by BTS. Mic drop. No, I gotta get one song. If you guys recommend 1,000, I'm not gonna listen to 1,000 of them. I'll listen to one song because I won't listen here though because I don't want to get the stream taken down for playing BTS music. Yoo Jae-suk? Yeah, of course I know him. Yeah, he's super famous Korean celebrity. But I don't know him personally. Where's your hat and bear? The bear is, oh, I can wear the hat. The bear is over there. The bear is sleeping in my suitcase. I'm gonna go to Korea in 1 week. So I'm packing. So you can kind of see, these are 2 of my suitcases. This is KeyCat and some of my camera equipment is over here. That's my camera equipment. These are some snacks I'm bringing to some of my friends in Korea. Let's see. I got my hat here. 당연히 한국어를 배우는 사람으로서 다 K-팝을 많이 yeah, I think most people 그쵸. 대부분의 사람들이 한국어를 그러니까 한국 음악하고 드라마를 좋아해서 배우는 것 같은데 근데 저는 아니요. 저는 그냥 한국어가 좋아서 배우는 거예요. I just like the Korean language, really. So it's hard, and whenever I get asked from Koreans, oh, why you like Korean music? Do you like Korean drama? Well, I don't dislike Korean. I like Korean music. I like Korean dramas, but the reason I like Korean is just because I love Korean. I just love the Korean language. I really loved learning Japanese before, and when I switched to Korean, I liked it even more. Probably meet with Professor O before you go to Korea. Oh, it's okay. There's no time to do that because I'm leaving to Korea really soon. Using the speech to translate to practice Korean until it gives me the correct. Yeah, it's probably okay. I would say that the pronunciation's not great, but it is accurate. It's just not great because it sounds like a robot. But, you know, in English Siri also the pronunciation's accurate. It's just a little bit like, welcome to Siri. The intonation's going to be a little weird. And the Korean's the same. Intonation's weird, but the pronunciation's okay. BTS is part of the reason. Yeah, I believe a lot of people started learning Korean specifically because 한국에 어디 갈 거예요? 무슨 도시에 갈 거예요? 전 수원에 갈 거예요. 수원. 수원하고 서울에 있을 거예요. 서울. Yeah, Andong. I bought these in Andong actually. I always wanted to have these masks and I bought it a couple of years ago in Andong. And then since moving here, since I moved to this place, because I switched apartments, since I started this channel, I've moved 4 times. And this time it's finally, I'll probably stay here. We have like a small like apartment, like it's kind of like I'd say a big apartment. And I have a room here for filming. So since I have my own room here for filming, I can actually like put stuff on the wall. But I only moved here a few months ago, so I haven't really been able to make this room look very pretty. It's mostly just all black walls. And there's the white paper that I use when I film my backgrounds. Raises hands. I also want to work here. If you're only learning Korean because of BTS, whatever reason you want to learn Korean is fine, really. Like some people say, like I'm embarrassed to learn Korean because I just wanted to date a Korean girl, or I'm embarrassed because I just like Korean music. Is that okay? Like who cares, really? Who cares why? They will not care why you learn Korean if you learn Korean. So like, congrats on 100K. Thank you. 전 수원에서 순댓볶음. Yeah? Yeah, Suwon's pretty nice. I like it. It's nice and quiet. 뿌리 깊은 나무. I've heard about that show. I haven't seen it though. Hangul became so much more interesting. Yeah, though the Hangul that we know today, of course, is not the Hangul that they created in the beginning. It's changed a lot. Right now, Hangul is much easier than it was when it was created about less than 500 years ago. But yeah, still, it's a really cool language. I think that they did a good job when they made the writing system. Overall, it's very consistent. I was one of the folk that you did monthly check. Oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, Zarani. Hey. Yo, what's up? I had fun doing that. I stopped it because what ended up was I would be messaging like 80 people a month, and then I would get replies from like 10 or so. So I don't want to be too specific because I don't want to shame anyone from it. And everyone had different reasons for not replying and stuff. But it was fun for the people that kept up with it. Do you have any tips on reading? Could you speak Japanese? Yes, I know conversational Japanese. 日本語も多少話せますけど、韓国語の方が上手です。But I can understand it. My understanding is much better than my speaking, and I don't mean that like my understanding is just okay. I can watch Japanese dramas without subtitles. I used to speak it much better, but this was like over 13 years ago, before I studied Korean. So it's been a long time since I've actually had to use Japanese. So yeah, I would say my writing Japanese is pretty good. My reading is really good, and my understanding is pretty good. But my speaking is like, I'd say intermediate at best. Oh, Scribbles. Study with B. I'm going to do a collaboration video with Study with B soon. You should check out her channel also. She also does videos about Korean. Songjang-yoon, I'm Korean. Hey, it's so hard just learning one language. Yes, it's hard to learn just one language. So some people try to learn multiple languages at the same time. I'll do a video about this in the future, but it's difficult. とっても What do you want to say? You want to say 上手? 上手ですね. Like written a little bit strange, but yes. Yeah, my Japanese reading is actually quite fast, I would say. But my speaking is, at best, my speaking is intermediate, I would say. Translators make such little money, so feel yes. I wouldn't recommend majoring in Korean. I did that. I think that if you're majoring in Korean, you should have a specific reason that you're majoring in Korean. If you just want to learn Korean, I would say minor in Korean, or better, just, Scribbles, I mean, it's Study with B. That was her nickname. Study with B is the channel. She's really cool. I'll do a collaboration video with her I'm planning right now. Yeah, I would say translator. I would say do a Korean minor, or even better, simply live in Korea and do study in Korea. That would probably be even more useful, because I did a major in Korean for 4 years, and I honestly don't think I learned very much in those entire 4 years, because the program was so simple, and it's made for people who are learning Korean kind of casually, I think. I don't know. I just don't think it was that great. And my jobs, it didn't really benefit my jobs to have a Korean major. It would benefit them more to have a Korean minor and a major in some other regular career. Ashton, congratulations. I hope you stay with us. I'm angry at myself because I've had so many chances to learn Korean. That's okay. You know, I could have learned Korean earlier too, but I didn't. I had Korean friends before I actually met my Korean friends that started me and got me into studying Korean. So, you know, it just happens. Your smile's like Jungkook? Really? I don't know what he looks like. How much would be good to know in order to be successful learning while living there? You could go to Korea without speaking Korean and learn it there. They have Korean classes that you can take, like being an exchange student or just going to college over there. You would probably have to do it through a program at your school though, but I would check with your school to see what kinds of programs they have for that. Spanish in school, find it. Spanish a lot easier, yes. Spanish definitely would be a lot easier than Korean, since it's not related directly to English, but kind of closely related to English. Closer, I'd say, than Korean. 일본어 하실 때 한국 I've heard that too. 그 소리 많이 들어봤어요. Some people say that because when I speak Japanese, I switch immediately from Korean, and then they say I sound like なんか日本語してるなんか韓国人みたいに聞こえると I hear that a lot. Like I hear like and it's probably true. It's hard to switch. Like I took a trip to Japan and I spoke only Japanese when I went there for a week, and it was fine. But then when I went back to Korea, right after that trip, I took a boat to Korea. And right when I arrived in Korea, my Korean was like, it shut down. I'm like, oh, I can't remember how to say excuse me. Because in Japanese, if you want to get someone's attention, you can say, sumimasen, sumimasen. Excuse me, or something like that. But in Korean, I couldn't remember. I was like, what's sumimasen? 실례합니다? No one says 실례합니다. Oh, like it took me like probably 15 minutes to switch back, and I finally remembered. I'm like, oh, 저기요. It just really took a long time. So it's hard to switch. And my Japanese speaking is really not that good. Do you have any tips for learning Korean grammar? It's so hard. Tips would be practicing using it. If you don't practice using it, it will always be really hard. Intermediate to near fluent. Yeah, that's the hardest part of learning Korean, is transitioning from basic conversation or basic phrases to and actually being fully functional. And it's really just a lot of practice, like years of practice. Reading books, watching TV shows is still helpful for listening exposure, and talking with people, I'd say, is the most important thing. How are you consistent with your practice when you really want to improve super fast? You just be consistent. Like, I've done this YouTube channel for over 5 years, and I just am consistent. I just keep doing it. You just have to keep going with Korean too. Like, if you just have to want to do it, and set a low goal if you're worried about getting busy and stuff. But once you've done it for a while, it'll be easier to keep going. But in the very beginning and after you've done it for a while, it's easy. But in the middle of that, it can be hard and you can lose motivation. So I think keep a low goal, like 15, 20 minutes a day, a goal that's so low that you couldn't not do it. And then when you start doing that 15-minute or 20-minute goal, you'll probably realize, oh, I'm okay, I can do more, I can do an hour. But at least set a low enough goal, that way you'll always make yourself do it. Can you differentiate 사투리? Yes, they sound very different, I think. 대구 사투리, yes, 대구 사투리 and Busan 사투리 are a little bit different too. I have a couple friends from Daegu and a bunch of friends in Busan, and they are all a little bit different. Do you normally wear hats outside of the video? Normally, no, I don't wear a hat at all. I just started wearing the hat. Okay, so Billy in the videos is actually like a character. Like, you know, I don't really date a stuffed bear. The bear does not really live. But I wanted to kind of have a consistent type of person that I could show. So when I started the videos, I said, well, let's just pick some clothes that I like. I didn't think I'd wear them every day. And then it kind of turned into like wearing the clothes every single day. Oh, this hat, I bought it in 2009. Before I started my channel, I just bought it because the English on it was horrendous. So I just thought it was hilarious, so I wanted to buy it. Property of City, California. So I'm from the city of California, the very large city of California. Will I be understood since I use my throat to roll? You roll your lid? Yes, they'll think you sound like a gangster though. It's like a Japanese gangster. Yeah, the bear is fake. I'm sorry. The bear doesn't really move by herself. But it's I try my best. I try to make it look as good as possible. Now, Kikat still got some more secrets though. I haven't shown everything about Kikat to you guys yet. From some angle, Ed Sheeran. I don't know about that. I know Ed Sheeran. No, I don't think so. All except Charlie Puth, but I don't know about Ed Sheeran or other people. Try and tell me the bear isn't. Yeah, sorry. Now the magic's gone. Yeah, I figure if you believed Kikat was a real bear, then I'm sorry, but you might not do too well learning Korean either. Just kidding. Duolingo, I would recommend not. I have not heard very many good things about it. Really, the best methods for Korean are have some sort of main foundation. So one resource or 2 or 3 resources that are your main grammar study resources. So whether that's, for example, my books, or Talk to Me in Korean's lessons, or another textbook, or Korea even sells textbooks. You can buy like a textbook in Korean, something that will guide you through learning Korean. As a secondary resources, you can have a lot of secondary resources. That can be like Anki for vocabulary, or Memrise, or Quizlet. Probably not Duolingo though. I heard some good things about Lingodeer. I heard some things about Lingodeer. I'm still thinking if I want to do a video about Lingodeer or not. I haven't researched it enough, but that seems a little bit better. But you don't want to, the thing is you don't want to use a secondary resource as your primary resource. So if I say like, oh, Lingodeer seems okay, don't try to learn Korean from Lingodeer. That's not what I mean. That would not work. It means use a regular main resource, but as a secondary resource, you could also add Lingodeer. You can add Anki, Quizlet, Memrise. You can add workbooks. You can add Talk to Me in Korean's Iyagi series, which I really like that series. I don't listen to it because I'm not studying Korean at that level, but I've heard some of them before and they're very well made. I like that they have subtitles for everything and they're nice and long and they speak Korean very slowly and very clearly. So I think it's good. Private tutor would also be, I would say, a secondary resource, unless they're like really closely working with you a lot. But yeah, so secondary resources are great, but just don't make a secondary resource your primary resource, or that's how Korea boos are created, is using a secondary resource as a primary resource. It just doesn't work. And you can learn a lot better just through a textbook, or everyone can learn Korean. Just make sure you have good resources that you're learning from. Good for first resource. Well, I am completely biased because I wrote my own book. So you probably don't want to hear what I'm telling you to use for your first book. I didn't use Korean Made Simple for my first book because I didn't speak any Korean. I didn't write it when I was learning Korean. I think it would have helped me if I had used that when I was learning Korean. I actually put this in my recent video, the books that I used, because this was my first book, and this is a garbage book, but this was my first book. I think my personal favorite Korean book is probably the same one that other people would say. Oh, here it is. This was my personal favorite Korean book ever. Korean Grammar for International Learners. You can still buy it on Amazon. It's from it's a really old book. But that was my personal favorite book. But nowadays, if I was learning Korean, I would not use that as my primary resource. I would use that as a secondary resource because it doesn't teach, it's like a reference book. So if you don't know the grammar at all, you can look in the book and remember like, oh yeah, that's right. Or if you already speak Korean, you can look at that book and say, oh, I see, that's how it's used. But if you don't know Korean and you're looking at it, it would be really hard to use. And it was really hard to use that book. I do not recommend it for a primary resource. Right now I'm working on a job resume in Korean. Awesome. That's awesome. Have you taken TOPIK? No, actually, I never tried taking TOPIK yet. I actually bought books to study for TOPIK, and they never had TOPIK available at the times that I was in the US. Now they do. I think now they have it in somewhere around LA. And then by then, the books that I had purchased for preparing for TOPIK had expired because they changed the whole TOPIK system to be, it used to be 3 tests. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 levels, but now they changed it to only be 2 tests. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could take it. If I take it, I want to study, I would probably study some TOPIK vocabulary before I took it. Because I'm fine on grammar and I'm fine on, regular speaking and everything like that. But TOPIK has a lot of grammar that's not used in regular Korean outside of like educational textbooks and the TOPIK tests. And they do that because they want to really filter out who has studied for the TOPIK, just like a Korean style test. They filter out who has studied specifically for that test and who hasn't. Not so much like, do you know math, but did you study for this math test, this specific TOPIK test? So that's why I haven't taken it yet. I'll probably take it someday though. Do I need to take the TOPIK? No. That's the other thing, is I don't need the TOPIK at all. I've never had to do anything that required the TOPIK. Even when I got my jobs for speaking Korean, my translation job and my job at a tutoring center where I was the center manager, and I was speaking only Korean most of the time, neither of those jobs would have cared if I had a TOPIK. So I think a TOPIK would be like, for you personally, like, do you want to know that you have a TOPIK? Or if you need it for a job. So I really didn't feel any pressure to take it. But it wouldn't hurt. Do you think a foreigner can make it in the Korean film industry? I think if you lived in Korea and you know some people there, I think yes, you could. Definitely. And I know some people in Korea that are foreigners in the Korean entertainment industry that are doing pretty well. Language day 하고 싶은데 괜찮으시면 나중에 이 영상 I'm not going to give my my SNS or accounts on here, but I do have my email, which people can email me at, and sometimes they'll sometimes ask me questions, and I'll try to answer your questions on that too. As long as they're not too long, I'm happy to help you guys. If you can feel free to send me an email like with a Korean question or like critique my accent or anything like that. Do you know who IU is? Yes, I know IU, but I don't know her that well. I mean, I've never met her before or anything. But yeah, I know who she is. Did you have a problem with fine dust in Korea? No, it does exist though. You just get a mask, and it's not necessarily it's not going to destroy your trip, but yeah, it is kind of annoying. YouTube or Africa TV, which do you like more? I like both of them. This is my first time doing streaming on my YouTube with this channel. I want to do cinematography. If you're good at cinematography, and if you live in Korea, then I'm sure you could get work there. I don't think Koreans will care if you're not a Korean, as long as you can speak Korean. The air is awful today. I heard lately it's really bad. Next week when I go there, it should be clearing up a little bit, or it should be the last week that it's good. But I'm planning on just staying indoors most of the time, or wearing like one of those masks. I have some of the N95 masks. Are there any jobs you can get in Korea besides an English teacher? If you speak really good Korean, then yes. If you don't speak really good Korean, then probably no. But you still could. I know some startup companies in Korea will hire people that speak so Korean just because they want to have a foreigner to work for them who could give them like kind of legitimacy and to give them a way to interact with their Korean with their like foreign clientele. I know a couple people who worked in Korea not as English teachers whose Korean was just intermediate level. So yeah, it's possible. 아니 저는 한국 사람인데 여기 한국어 공부하는 분들이랑 exchange. Oh, I see what you mean. I just ordered your book. Can't wait. Awesome. How to Study Korean is full of grammar mistakes. Well, then don't use it. What about amino? I've never used it before. Why do Koreans react to people with curly hair? I think they might think it's cool. Just nothing out of the ordinary. They're not going to be like, wow, it's curly hair, or haha, it's curly hair. It's just, oh, curly hair, cool. Any good podcast for learning Korean besides SpongeMind? Oh yeah, I like SpongeMind. Yeah, SpongeMind and me, SpongeMind and Jeremy, we're pretty good friends. We all kind of like each other. So we try to do as much as we can with each other. It's just funny. I don't know any other good podcasts. I think I sometimes like listening to podcasts that are just in Korean, like regular Korean podcasts, but I don't know any other podcasts for learning Korean. A few years ago, I actually wanted to start my own podcast. I just never really got around to doing it because I was, busy with, at that time I was busy working on my second book. And if you have curly hair, they'll always ask if you got pama. Oh yeah? Let's see, how do I buy your book? They have it on Amazon if you're in the US or UK, and they also have it on Book Depository, bookdepository.com if you're outside of Korea. If you're outside of the US. And I know Korean bookstores can order it if you're in Korea. Kyobo, some Kyobo bookstores have it there, but I'm not sure which ones. How did you stick with Japanese? I've always found Korean significantly easier. I think they're both about equally difficult. Japanese is really simple in the beginning, and Korean's really hard in the beginning. And after that, I think they kind of even out. And some things in Japanese are much more difficult, and some things in Korean are much more difficult, like politeness levels, counters are much harder, numbers are much harder in Japanese. Korean, I would say things like pronunciation, using conjugation is a lot, and grammar conjugation is a lot more difficult in Korean. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior? No. Do I need a dictionary or should I just use Naver? Naver is good enough. If you want an offline dictionary, then you might have to get a dictionary. You can go, if you're going to get an offline dictionary, I would highly recommend getting something by like Tonga, or getting, a book will probably look like this. I'll show you. This is a typical paper dictionary for Korean. You see, it's even got some marks in there and stuff. And paper dictionaries for Korean are great. The only problem is they're really heavy. Gwangamun Kyobo? Oh, really? That's the Kyobo. That's like the huge Kyobo. Oh, that'd be awesome. I wonder if they still have it there. But yeah, I would recommend Naver because if you learn how to use Naver, you can find the answers to everything in Korean. And like really, if someone ever asks me a Korean question, I've never had to say, I really just don't know about anything Korean in like years. So someone will ask me some really obscure Korean question like, what is the origin of this word? Or why is this word's origin different than that word's origin? Random questions that there would be no way I would know that because I'm not a Korean person, and even Koreans wouldn't know it. But I know how to use Naver. So I can search on Naver in Korean, find out the answer. If you learn how to use Naver, you can probably do anything you want in Korean. Naver dictionary is also the best dictionary ever, easily. But I wouldn't use it if you're a brand new beginner because it's easy to learn incorrect stuff. You wouldn't know which word, like you might search, for example, the word for car, and you'd get like 4 or 5 different results, and you wouldn't know that you're supposed to use 자동차 or 차. You might find some other random word that you wouldn't quite know what to use it because you didn't know that word. But if you're at least above the very beginning, then it's great. What do you do in order to continually improve your Korean even at your when you get to an advanced level, which is not as crazy high as it seems, you could probably reach an advanced level in a couple of years. And I know a lot of people who've hit the advanced level too. You don't feel yourself getting any better. It stops. So at the intermediate level, that happens too, where you feel like you're not getting any better, and then you get to advanced, and now you're good. And then after that, you feel like you're always the same, unless you really try to remember and look back at your previous, how you were before. So I actually have videos of myself speaking Korean practice from a few years ago, and I can go and watch that and listen to how my Korean was, and then I can listen to my Korean now, and I can hear, oh, I see, I'm doing this a little better. Oh, I'm doing this word faster. So you are still improving. Even you just will feel it less and less and less and less. Read your book before I went to Korea. Oh, cool. You went to Korea. That's awesome also. Any websites you recommend for complete beginners? I think as far as websites go, there's really only Talk to Me in Korean. There's other websites that have books and stuff, but like if you're just looking for a website, I really like Talk to Me in Korean. I think there are the best things, I think, my opinion, are the best way to learn Korean is simply through textbooks. I think that textbooks are usually written by like committees of teachers, and they put a lot of work, even if it's not written by committees. They're just a lot of work goes into creating a textbook. Whether it doesn't, not necessarily mine, just a textbook in general, usually are really well made. Very few mistakes in them. Usually the only mistakes will be like typos. And they are really well prepared that they guide you through the language from the very beginning. Like they know what learners are going through. And I think you can just carry the book around wherever you go. You can write in it, or put marks in it and Post-its and everything you want. And they're usually a all-in-one package. I kind of think those are, in my opinion, that's my favorite way to learn. Can you help me with what I should study in Korean? I learned Hangul, Hachim rules, currently learning grammar. I don't know what to do next. The same thing I've said to other people, get some sort of course that you can follow, because a course will walk you through it. They'll tell you exactly what you should be learning next. And when you reach an intermediate level, then you can decide for yourself what you should be learning next. But in the very beginning, you just can't do that. You don't know that you should be learning numbers now or colors now. Or you might think, oh, I learned numbers, now I should learn colors, now I should learn animals, now I should learn. And you're gonna go on these tangents that are gonna be wasting your time. For example, like it would be a waste of time to just go and learn all the animals, even though it's not a waste of time to learn all the colors or stuff like that. What's something you wish you knew when you first started learning Korean? I wish that I knew that the way that I write Korean and my pronunciation is gonna stick around with me forever. Because my pronunciation is very similar to how I first started. I put a lot of care into it, but I would have put even more care into it. Not that I'm regretting it, but it did take me a lot of extra work to fix my pronunciation. I'd say about 7, 8 years ago, before I started my channel, I realized my pronunciation, I had some weird things I was saying, and it took me a long time to fix that. Can you help me with what I should study? Oh, that was the other thing I said. Try say something in Korean, but slowly. 무엇인가? Billy, do you think Korean girls are the prettiest Asian girls? Actually, no. I don't know. I studied Japanese before. I think I never thought I would want to date a Korean girl until like more recently. Originally, I think I was probably more interested in Japanese girls, but that's just my preference. Did you have a Korean girlfriend? Yes, I did. I had a couple Korean girlfriends in the past. Are Chinese characters important in the Korean language? Yes, very important. How long does it take? Rip your wife. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's okay. She's cool. She's really cool. How long does it take to be fluent in Korean? That depends on how much you're studying. Some people never happens because they don't study enough. 예쁜 여자가 최고. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 예쁘면 그게 제일 좋은 거죠. How long does it take to be fluent in Korean? Yeah, some people can get fluent in Korean in a few years. Other people don't get fluent in Korean, but say they're fluent. And fluency itself, you can't really define it. So everyone has their own definition of fluency. My personal definition of fluency, and I'll make a video about this too. This is actually in my list of videos I want to make. Hope your wife's not, she won't care. She'd probably be laughing. I think it would be if you can say anything you want to say in the way that you want to say it without any difficulty, then you are fluent. And I would describe myself as that. I can say anything I want to say. I don't feel any difficulty speaking in Korean. But other people would not define fluency like that. Other people might say fluency is you sound just like a Korean. I would say that's like that would be like more of a near native ability, which is pretty much impossible to reach. There's nobody who speaks Korean like a Korean unless they lived in Korea from a young age. Hi, Billy, I have your book and love it, your video so much, your Hangul videos. Oh, thank you. How long did it take you to become fluent? I'm still learning Korean. I don't know when I actually would consider I became fluent in it. At least a few years, at least several years. I don't think I was fluent after a year of studying or 2 years of studying. What do you see yourself doing in a few years? Hopefully more videos. Lots more fun videos I want to make. How old were you when you started learning Korean? I think it was 18 or 19. I can't exactly remember. It was 2004, like late 2004. But I learned a little bit of Korean before then, but I never really officially started. Like I learned, one of the first Korean things I learned was 일 더하기 1은 11, which is a stupid joke, which is like 1 plus 1 equals 11. I don't remember why I learned that, but I had a Korean friend in high school who taught me that. Doing a video series on diction pronunciation. I haven't thought about, I've done a couple videos about pronunciation now, but I'm also thinking about doing a video about intonation, actually, which I've been planning for a while. I haven't made it yet because I want to plan it more before I make it. I was born in 2004, yes. I'm kind of, yes, I am like, well, now it's 일 더하기 1은 귀요미, that's right. But yeah, like, let's see, 2014, because I'm 31 right now. So yeah, I was 18 or 19. I can't exactly remember. I think it was probably 18. Am I crazy to review everything I learned every single week because it keeps building up? No, if you have time, I wouldn't stress so much about reviewing in the very beginning as practicing. Reviewing, because you'll forget things if you're simply reviewing it. You should be practicing it. That way your brain gets used to using it. You'll memorize it a lot better. Do you live in the US? I'm in LA, actually. But I go to Korea about 2 months every year. This year I'll be there for almost 3 months. Let's see, I'm so overwhelmed to learn Korean. I don't know how to start or how long I study for. I have a video about that probably on my channel. I would say set a low goal in the beginning. Set some sort of low goal and be consistent at it. The most important thing is to keep going. So it's like running a marathon. If you simply just keep going, it doesn't matter if you're running slower or faster, you will eventually reach where you want to get to. But the problem is most people start the marathon off running as hard as they can. They get really tired and they get bored and they look back, they realize they haven't gone very far and they give up. When really, you could go really fast and learn really fast, but if you simply just keep going, it's better to have a pace that you can keep going at than to stop. Tips on pronouncing the character lir. I always have a hard time with it. Your tongue position is really important. I don't know if I want to show you my tongue position because it's kind of gross, but say the word dog, dog. So right, when you say dog, feel where your tongue touches the top of your mouth, right? Dog, dog, dog. Now instead of saying a D, try to say an L, but put your tongue as if you're going to say dog. So like say dog, but say dog. And there you go. That's all you have to do. It's the same tongue position as the D in English. It's not hard though. Like you don't just do log. It's log, la, la. And when you practice it, you'll end up moving your tongue a little bit closer to your tongue as you do it more naturally, because you don't have to stress it so much. It's more of a relaxed thing. So you can have like la, lo, like ramen, ramen for ramen. You're saying damyeon, but your tongue is making an L sound. So ramyeon, ramyeon. But it's the same tongue position. And it's not, if you can't do that yet, at the very least say L, say ramyeon. Heavy la. La, it's not a la. Your tongue is behind your teeth, like as if you were saying dog. Particular reason why you settled in LA? Because I grew up in, my face. It's because I grew up here in LA. I was born here and I've lived in a few other cities. I've lived in a couple other states. I've lived in Korea even, and I've traveled a lot. And I just like the weather here. I just really like the weather here. I have access to anything I want here in LA. There's Koreatown. The city I'm in is very nice and clean and feels very safe. Some of my family members live here, so I'm just kind of comfortable here. I wouldn't want to live in Korea for a long time, but I'm really happy to visit Korea. So every year I go to Korea. Palm Desert. Okay, Palm Desert, I know where that is. Someone explained like a rolling R. Not like a rolling R. If you roll the R in Korean, it kind of sounds like you're a gangster or you're speaking really thick dialect or something. How do I get speaking practice? Or the internet. Oh, that's interesting. If you're stuck, you have no option to use chatting to talk with Koreans. The only other option you have would be to practice with yourself. So when you're reading something, say it out loud. Everything that you read, say out loud. Every sentence you write for practice, say it out loud. There's no other way you could do it though. But I think if you at least do that, you'll you should be able to still improve. You might not get to a fluent level like that, but at least in the meantime, until you can get out of your house and get to somewhere where you can use the internet, then that's probably your best option. What do you think of italki? I used to get a bunch of emails from them. They were offering me paid advertising. I haven't done any paid advertising on my video, in case you're curious. The only thing I did was I did a video for a museum in Seoul. I should say Korean. Seoul. I always feel weird switching to Korean in the middle of English. I did a video for a museum where they gave me free tickets to go in because I wanted to go there. I said, hey, if I go there, can I get free tickets? And they said yes. But I've never gotten any sort of money or any free things for doing a single video on my channel. italki had emailed me a few times saying, hey, we'll pay you to do a video about us. But at the time, they only had like 8 tutors, so I told them no. Now I think they have more tutors, but I haven't checked them out in a while. I'm not sure if I'm doing a video about them, but I'll think about it because I don't know too many websites for Korean tutors. I'll have to research them a little more and maybe I'll do a video about them in the future. Do you have any idea why older men in Korean drama speak with such a biblical accent compared to regular Korean at a younger age? They're just acting. It's just a Korean drama. It's just because they're acting. It's not how they actually speak. I knew some Korean businessmen when I lived in Korea and still now in Korea. They don't talk like that. They just talk like older men. It's bad I'm learning Korean. No, K-pop doesn't matter what you're learning for. It's good. As long as you're learning Korean, that's a good reason. 한국어를 처음으로 배우기 시작했을 때 얼마나 시간 동안? I did like 8 hours a day, but you don't have to do that. I think just doing like 1 hour or 2 hours is more than enough, as long as you're consistent with it. Are you tired? No, I'm not tired. I think it's probably just the lighting. I have trouble staying still in one place because I have so much like energy all the time. I would be like one of the kids that would be like fiddling a pencil on my desk. It's because I have so much energy. Any plans for a new book? I'm working on workbooks for Korean Made Simple, but those will just be like an extra thing. They're not going to be like a separate textbook. It's not going to teach anything new, no new vocabulary, no new grammar, just for more different types of practice problems and stuff. And when I release that, I'll try to make it as cheap as I can. So I really want it to be like just an extra bonus, not like, oh, you got to get the practice books with it. It's just like, an optional thing. Any tips for stopping procrastination? Yes. Where are you? Are you in LA? Yeah, I'm in LA right now. It's like totally bright out. Sun's going down. Procrastination is to set a low goal, like really low goal. Like tell yourself, I'm just going to study for 5 minutes today. Really, like really ridiculously low goal. And then sitting down and studying for 5 minutes. And then ask yourself, can I study more? Because when you're already sitting down, it's sometimes easy to keep going. But the hardest part is just starting. Why are Japanese women more alluring? Because of their kindness? I don't think it's personality. I think it's just, my eyes are weird. Does Korean or any language help you get a better job? Sure, if the company wants it. I've gotten several jobs from speaking Korean. Do you ever have language anxiety when speaking to fluent Koreans? Yeah, I get really nervous when I spoke with Koreans, especially in the beginning. Now I'm much better. But when I was first learning, I was very, very nervous, very shy. And it's not good. It doesn't help you. And Koreans aren't judging your Korean. I mean, some of them do, but most of them don't. They are just so happy to hear you speaking anything. But it's just pride. I felt prideful that I could speak a little bit of Korean when I was first learning, and that prevented me from trying to speak more. And I got better and got over that. But yeah, it's hard because you feel like you're really smart in your native language, or you think you're normal in your native language, and when you speak Korean and you suddenly sound like this like dumb person, it's a pride hit. Like it hurts your pride to hear that, to feel like you're not smart in another language. So you just, instead of speaking and making mistakes, you just keep your mouth shut and you just quiet and speak as little as possible. And that's kind of what I did. And yeah, it didn't help. So that's the same hat. Yes, this is the same hat I wear in like 99% of my videos. 한국말 해주면 기분 좋아요. Thanks. 안녕, I love your books. Thanks. Who are you and why are you on my recommended section? I don't know. Why am I on your recommended section? I'm a Korean teacher here. I teach Korean on YouTube. Kind of like edutainment videos, like comedy and entertainment. I'm going to interview. Yeah, I'm going to do more interviews in Korea, definitely. The people who last time when I went to Korea, I met up with my friend Kim So-young. You can see her in my video where I eat chuotang, and also my video about PC방, PC rooms in Korea. And she's really cool. And she helped me film my interviews last time I was in Korea. And this time she's like, hey, let's do more interviews. So definitely, I'm going to go on the streets and do some more fun interviews there. It's exactly what's hard for me, sounding dumb in Korean. Yes, and at the time, I thought it was my shyness because I used to be really shy as a little kid. But later, oh my gosh. Later, I just realized it wasn't my shyness, it was just my pride. I was being proudful. Is that the right word? I was being proud that I wanted to keep my appearance and worrying more about how people would perceive me instead of actually just trying to learn more Korean. So that hurt me in the beginning. I could have probably shaved off a couple months of studying had I been better at that. First with writing English or Korean. It's like 100% Korean, really. I like the interviews too. Yes, I really like the interviews too. Yes, face saving. Yeah, it's not shyness, it's kind of pride of making mistakes. How many times have you been on a plane? More times than I can count. Way more times than I can count. That one that showed her email? Oh yeah. That one that showed her, that's right. She said she got a bunch of emails after that video, like 20 or 30 people emailed her, and she still contacts like 2 of them. She said she still messages with a couple of them. So she said it was fun. It was just surprising. She's like, oh wow, I thought Billy is famous. He gets so many people, but I'm not really famous. I don't have that many. My videos don't get that many views. I'm starting to be busy with school. Is she? Wow. Yeah, she's really cool. So young. Best countries to live in. Korea's really fun. If I wasn't living in the US, I would live in Korea. Tips for exam anxiety. Really just practicing tests. I don't think I can help you with that. I think you might want to ask a teacher, like a school teacher, about tips for test anxiety, because I also get test anxiety. I don't know what the solution is. If you find out, let me know. 10만 명 축하해요. Thank you. What was your first visit to Korea like? Oh, it was awesome. My very first day in Korea was amazing. I was in love as soon as I went to Korea. It was like, it's done. I'm good. How did you convince your wife's parents about marrying a foreigner? I spoke with them in Korean. They were only apprehensive before I met them. Like as soon as they met me and as soon as they realized I spoke Korean, it was very easy from them. And they see me as their like blood kid. So it's great. And I think if you speak Korean, then you'll have a similar experience no matter who you're meeting. So desperate to learn Korean. Which book shall I start to read? Starting to read, like what kind of book? I mean, I have my textbooks, but as a university student, do you think talking with Korean students? Definitely make Korean friends. My name is Pai. Oh my gosh, I love you. Thank you. 100,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm very happy about that. No, I know I have 100,000 subscribers, but I know I'm also like a small-time YouTuber. If I upload a video, I might get a few thousand views. Not like other people who will get like, 100,000 views immediately or 50,000 views immediately. Mine's a very smaller viewership because my audience, I think, is more serious, people who are seriously actually studying Korean. So I get fewer views, but that's okay because these are the videos that I really want to make. I can read Hangul Korean phrases, but I read them so slow. How can I read it faster? That's only practice. Really only practice. Wait, he's married? I'm new. Oh yeah, it's just the recent video. I just uploaded the video like yesterday, so most people don't know. It's 3:48. Why am I awake? How do you not realize the time? Well, here in LA, it's 6:49 p.m. Do you do any private tutoring with people in Korean? No, I don't. I've never done any paid private tutoring with anyone in Korea. Just talking with friends. 120 on a live stream isn't bad. Yeah, I guess so. This is my first live stream, so I'm not really sure how long you've been studying. It's been about 13 years now. Handsome Billy. Online Korean books. I would recommend Webtoons. I'm actually going to do a video about this too. I have so many fun videos I'm planning in Korea. I'm really excited about it. But I'm going to also do a video about studying Korean with Webtoon. And I think Webtoons are really good also if you want to do some fun reading to practice. How will you make silver button video? I'm not sure. I don't think I'll do a silver button video because my channel isn't really about like vlogging. Like I don't do videos about my daily life or what I ate for breakfast or anything like that. So probably not, but I'll make a post like my Twitter or my Instagram. I'll probably make a post about it when I get it. That will be after I come back from Korea though, so maybe later this year. One of the follow you in Korea is G Dragon. He's legit everywhere and go. Man, what got you into learning Korean? I had some Korean friends, and I was already studying Japanese, so that's probably what allowed me to go into Korean, was because I already had Japanese under my belt. Do some listening practice videos. Yeah, I thought about doing that, but if I do listening practice videos, I honestly want to do it with a native Korean. I don't think that you should learn listening practice from someone who's not a native Korean, just because you should learn it from the absolute best source. I can teach you guys grammar, fine. And I can teach you guys basic pronunciation, but I'm not going to pretend like I speak Korean better than a Korean person. Korean people can, or that I know pronunciation or intonation better than a Korean. That's still the best way to do it, is from real Koreans. So if I did a practice series, I would want to do it with real Koreans. I would want to get a real Korean to do it for you guys. I don't want to just, you know, I'm Billy, I can do anything. I don't want to just do that. I want to make sure you guys get good stuff. Do you listen to K-pop? I answered this a little bit earlier, but I don't listen to too much K-pop, but I do like some. I used to like Lee Hyori a long time ago, and I listened to a producer called Primary. I really like it. It's kind of like hip-hop music. 일본어도 할 줄 아세요? Yes. My Japanese speaking is not too great, but my listening's, I'd say, quite good, and my reading's pretty good. I can you know, watch Japanese dramas, and I can read some basic Japanese news and stuff like that, and chat. How old is too old to learn Korean? There's no too old age for learning Korean. Younger is best if you can, but if you're, I know some people who started learning Korean like in their 50s or 60, I think. Steve Kaufman, how old is that guy? Is he 50 something? Yeah, you can do it anytime. A lot of demand for English teachers in Korea. I think there's a normal amount of demand for English teaching in Korea. If you apply for it, you could probably get it, though I know things change. Now there are fewer than before, I think, but yeah, there's still demand for it. 살려고 한국어를 배우기도 어려워. Okay. No, I'm not a native English speaker. Would it be worth it? I tried to write my books so that you don't have to be a native English speaker to understand that. If you read my books, you'll notice that I tried to write them very simply. All the English in them is kind of basic. So you should, I'm not a native English speaker, would it be worth it to you could probably still use it. But yeah, I tried thinking about that. When I made the book, I realized, you know, not everyone who uses this book is going to be a native English speaker. Some of them might be fluent in English, but not native. So I tried to write the book like I wouldn't include jokes that only Americans would know, or it should be okay. You can read it a sample on Amazon though, and if you like the sample, then you probably would like the rest of the book. How much crossover is there? What do you mean crossover? But yes, I have studied Mandarin as well. 한국어를 배워줘서 고마워. 배워줘서? 가르쳐줘서. Or 가르쳐주셔서. 배워주다 is like a 북한말. That's like North Korean dialect for teaching. And it's not wrong, it's just kind of funny. Language exchange group talks. That language exchange group talk could be useful, as well as there's Koreans there too. Lily Hernandez, hi, I'm new to your channel. Welcome. Okay, I have to go head out to study for exam. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just doing a live stream just for fun. I've never done one before. I probably won't do another one for a long time. I'm 65 and have been studying for 5 years. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you can learn Korean at really any age. If your brain is working, you can learn Korean. Crossover as in breaking ankles on the bat. Yeah. Korean, Japanese, and I wouldn't know then. Yeah, I think age is not, like, of course younger, you know, you can learn things faster and you're better memory at a young age, but that doesn't mean you can't still pick up a new language at whatever age you are. It just might take a little bit more work than it would take for someone who's younger, but that's it. How would you pronounce my name in Korean? Liam Elkawaga? Elkawaga, probably. How old were you when you started learning Korean? A lot of people ask that question, like 18 or 19. I can't exactly, I think I was probably 18, because I think it was 2004. It wasn't like one day I just started like, I'm going to study Korean today. It was kind of like I did a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit. And then after a while, then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm studying Korean. 서울대 다닐 때 친구랑 노래방 갔습니다. 노래방에 가는 걸 좋아합니까? 예, 저도 노래방 되게 좋아해요. 특히 요즘 코인 노래방 꽤 많이 여기저기 다 있는데 코인 노래방도 재밌어요. 막 저렴하고 하나에 500원씩인가? 비싸지도 않고 좋아요. 그래서 거기 한국에 있는 동안 거기 막 일주일에 한 5번 놀러 가요. I love coin 노래방s. Like they're one room, like little small room for like 1 or 2 people, karaoke rooms that they have in Korea. They've had them in Japan for forever, but they only recently started getting popular in Korea. So I'm not going to go to Japan just to go to a coin 노래방, just to go to one of those little room karaoke places. But in Korea, there's one really close to the place that I stay at, so I can walk there in like 2 minutes. So like probably every night, like 5 times a week, easily. Do you know tongue twister? Yes, I do know tongue twisters. 간장 공장 공장장은 장 공장장이고 no, it was 강 공장장이고 된장 공장 공장장은 장 공장장이다. I did a video about Korean tongue twisters actually, so I still remember the tongue twisters I practiced for that video. But yeah, I'm not a tongue twister master though. They're pretty difficult. Which is better, North Korea or South Korea? Of course, South Korea, like in every way. But North Koreans are still considered Koreans. What are easily avoidable mistakes? Easily avoidable mistakes, I would say using the particles. Not using the object marker when it's a descriptive verb. That's one of the most common basic mistakes. Korean airlines are almost always in English if you're flying internationally. Did you learn Japanese? Yes, I did Japanese before Korean. Did it help? I think Japanese as a language, since there's similar words, but just the vocabulary only helped a little bit. What really helped though was when I did Japanese, you learn so many things in Japanese that are just crazy difficult if you've never learned an Asian language before. They're like, this is insanely difficult in Japanese. So when I saw different things, similar things in Korean, they're different, but when I saw them in Korean, I was able to tell myself like, this is okay. Like, it's hard, but you know, I did it for Japanese, I can do it for Korean. It just kind of gave me confidence. I think that's really how it helped more than the languages seeming similar. It was just that it gave me a lot of confidence that told me that I can do it even though it's difficult. I've done it in Japanese. Yeah, it's not going to be that much harder. 이상한 질문 있어요. 혹시 한국 남자가 영어 수사한? Yes, these days it's less common. These days it's much less common than before. It used to be like everyone would do it. Now it's like common not to do it. 요즘은 안 하는 게 유행이라고 들었는데. It's possible to learn Korean fluently in just 2-3. Impossible. Impossible. Even if you're a genius like Albert Einstein, you cannot learn Korean fluently in 3 months. We stayed at a Korean karaoke from late evening to 7 a.m. Yeah, that's fun too. Going to karaoke. I did that a couple times before also. Staying until like 6:30 a.m. until the first train. Been learning Korean, trying to learn Hangul through your videos when Dialects lets me, but we've been watching K-drama. K-dramas will not help you speak better Korean. K-dramas can get you listening practice. They can get you exposed to hearing Korean sounds. And if you already know Korean, they're useful for listening practice, but they're not going to help you get better Korean in the beginning. What do I miss most about Korea? Transportation and my friends in Korea. I have a lot of friends in Korea that I miss, and I don't have that many friends here in the US. They're all in Korea, unfortunately. All 3 of my comments. The Korean jokes I'm still waiting on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see all the comments, but there's too many. Oh yes, Billy, about topic and subject part. Do you have a main tip on how... topic and subject particles. I made a video about them, which might answer your question better, but basically the topic marker, it's fine to translate it in your head as meaning as for. So if you mess up the topic and subject markers, it's not a huge deal. But a bigger problem would be messing up the object marker, the or le part, the object marker, because those ones would make your sentence sound really weird if you mess those up. Just don't use an object marker if you're using a descriptive verb, like the verb 있다, to exist. My 4th time asking where to buy your books. Sorry, I'm not ignoring everyone. I can't read everyone's comments. But they sell the books on Amazon. They also sell it on bookdepository.com if you're outside of an Amazon place. Bookdepository.com though is also similar price and they do free shipping. For my class, I have the Sejong Institute book. I've never seen that book, so I'm not quite sure, but it's always good to have more resources. Is your wife Asian? Yes, Korean. Yes, I just need my crush to notice me to die in peace. So I know how to read Hangul, but I don't know what to do next. That's why I would recommend a textbook, some sort of textbook or course, full textbook, which will guide you through exactly what to do. Because yeah, there is no way that you would possibly know what to study next. If you're not living in Korea, there would be no way you could progress without having someone else guide you through it. Is it okay to study 2 languages at the same time? I would not recommend that. Yes, whenever I speak Korean, you sound a bit more gentle. 맞아요. 저도 그런 것 같아요. I think that when you learn a second language, you kind of adapt a second personality in that foreign language. And you'll end up, your humor will change, your personality will change, and you kind of get this different, it'll match the culture of what the language that you're studying. So in English, I'm just myself. In Korean, I am like a Korean version of myself, a little bit different. It's not something I consciously did. It's just something that kind of happens to everyone who learns a foreign language. Koreans do it too. If a Korean speaks in Korean and then that Korean learns English, suddenly when they speak English, they'll use lots of puns and jokes. But when they speak Korean, they might be a really serious person. That happens a lot too. Thank you, Billy. Last you saw my question. Yes, I'm sorry. If I don't read your comment, I'm not ignoring any of you guys. It's hard to read everything. So I'm trying to answer everyone without speaking too fast. How's Korean McDonald's? It's limited. They have fewer items, but they do have my favorite McDonald's item in Korean McDonald's, which is the shubi bogo. And it has like shrimp and beef, and it's really good. How'd you get the pronunciation to sound so natural? Lots of practice, lots of listening practice and trying to copy Korean. So I would say like, 안녕하세요, and a Korean would say, 안녕하세요. And I listened exactly how he say like, 안녕하세요. Like, okay, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. Practice a lot. It just takes a lot of practicing. I can't hear the difference in pronunciation of, the 상시옷, 지읒. I have a video about that actually. If you search Korean pronunciation, it's one of my Learn Korean videos, and I specifically show the differences between how to make the sounds. But as far as recognizing them, when you learn more grammar and when you learn more vocabulary, you'll be able to understand it without even knowing whether it was the double or the single. You'll know which one it was simply by context because you understood what they're saying. Like you hear blah, 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 blah. You could say like, 이 햄버거 되게 짜요. Even if they said 짜요 instead of 짜요 for salty, 짜요 means sleep. But let's say you misheard it and you thought they said 짜요. It doesn't matter because you know what they're saying. You would still hear it as 짜요. You'd still hear it as salty, the correct one, because you understood what they're saying. Context is really the only way that you'll get better at understanding them, to hear the differences. Because when you get used to context, you'll then naturally hear which one they were saying. Even if they're speaking very softly or whispering, 되게 짰어요, 되게 짰는데, you can still hear which one they said. You're not hearing 자, you're going to hear 짜, because you know what they're supposed to be saying. And that's what Koreans do too. You can sometimes missay a little bit for the sounds, and it still sounds okay if the context is correct. But if you just randomly say 자요 really loud, they're going to think you said sleep, or they're not going to understand what you said because there's no context. Can you imagine people talking 5 different languages on 5 different... Yes! I totally can imagine that. One of my mom's best friends actually speaks 6 languages, 4 of them fluently, and she does sound different in each of her languages. One of her languages is Japanese. When she speaks Japanese, she sounds like a Japanese lady, like a Japanese ajumma, pretty much, like very quiet and very calm and reserved. And when she speaks English, she's like, blah, 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 like really talking loud. And she speaks French, she speaks very soft and smooth. That's just kind of what happens. How many languages? I speak English, of course, and Korean. Japanese, I can listen very well and I can read very well. My speaking is like intermediate level. I studied French. My French is like bad. I studied French for 5 years, but my French, at the very peak of my French abilities, it was at best conversational. I can kind of read French though, because I studied it for so long. I did Mandarin and Cantonese also for about 3 months. And I did Cantonese before I went to Hong Kong. And I actually would say I was like maybe high beginner or middle beginner at Cantonese, like, basic conversation at best. 여기 몇 시냐고요? 7시요. It's 7 o'clock. 여기는 7시예요. For 5 years, yes, 5 years. But I loved it. I mean, I wouldn't do a 5th year if I didn't enjoy it. It's just, I loved the sound of French. I've never been to France. I've never, ever, once, ever met someone where I needed to speak French. Like I've never had a situation in my entire life where I needed to speak French. Now I've said that, I'm gonna need French someday, but I just loved how it sounded. It just sounded so like funny and nice. Like, bonjour, je m'appelle Billy. I just loved doing like the fake French accent. And 5 years of French gave me an excuse to try to speak like the nasally French accent. Ho, ho, ho. I just really loved that. So that kind of motivated me to keep doing French. And I would have probably kept learning French if I didn't do Korean. It was just funny. What's your favorite language to speak in? English. I love English because I can completely express everything I want, every way I want. And Korean, you know, Korean's a good second. Better learn Korean from a Korean person who's same gender, rude to risk of sounding like the other gender. No, I think that you should be doing most of your practice with the same gender, but I don't think that who you're learning the grammar from or who you're learning pronunciation from will make a difference. Just the majority of who you're listening to shouldn't only be one gender. Like if you're a guy, you shouldn't only be listening to a guy or only be listening to a girl. You should be listening to both guys and girls because they both speak differently. 세웅지마. Yeah, that's a useful phrase. Let's see. Feels good to speak in English. Yes. Same about French. Yes, here is Los Angeles, California. And yeah, sometimes when I speak with my Korean friends, they'll ask like, oh, speak some English. And I'll always say like I'm from LA. I do like a test voice. Like when I'm speaking English, I can do like what do you call it? Like when you listen to a test, like an audio test on tape, turn the page and begin the answers. Or stuff like that. So I'll do like my test voice when I'm talking with my Korean friends sometimes because they like that. But yeah, I'm really just from LA. I speak like an LA person. Though not right now, I'm kind of trying to be a little bit more clear. But if I speak with my little brother or someone who's like a close friend here, then I speak a little bit faster than this. Planning to visit Korea for the first time this year, September, June. Oh, definitely, if you can choose, June. It's going to be way too hot in September. June's going to be hot, but June's going to be okay. But July, August, September are just crazy hot. Even October is pretty hot. But if I learn Hangul, what should I learn? The next thing is to start with a book or some sort of course, because there are lots of things you should learn next after that. Probably next would be how to introduce yourself, but not just how to introduce yourself, but how to learn how to introduce yourself without going overboard in what vocabulary and grammar you learn. Like you should learn about the verb ida, you should learn about conjugating verbs to the nida form. Garden Grove, oh, okay, not too far. How do you push yourself to continue improving? Well, I have no choice. I do my YouTube channel, so I need to keep learning Korean. Otherwise, probably just keeping up friendships. I think having Korean friends is the easiest motivation to keep learning because you feel like you don't want to let them down. At the very least, you don't want to forget it. Even though I don't use Japanese ever, I still have lots of Japanese friends. Couple of my Japanese friends don't speak a lick of English. They speak zero English. So I have to keep speaking Japanese or I won't even be able to keep up with them. And they're really nice people. So there's no way I'll ever forget my Japanese. Same way, if you guys have really good Korean friends, there would be no way you could forget your Korean. At least you'll get better if you won't get worse. 물 주세요. Please give me water. 무슨 휴대폰을 쓰셔요? This is a Galaxy S8. I actually upgraded for the first time in my life to a decent phone last year after my previous phone broke while I was in Korea. So I had no phone in Korea last year. 나중에 북한도 한국어로 흡수될 것이나요? That would be cool. But I don't know when. TOPIK? No, I've never taken the TOPIK yet. Is Talk to Me in Korean? I like some of their stuff. I haven't used them very extensively because I studied Korean way before they started. But I've seen some of their stuff. I like their Iyagi series. And some of their lessons that I've seen looked pretty nice. I haven't checked out their books yet, but I'm sure they're probably good. What kinds of things will Koreans do if you're from California and you know how to speak Korean? I'm not sure what you mean. iPhone 너무 비싸요. Yeah, I don't have an iPhone. Samsung Galaxy Note. This is S8, not the Note. I've seen the Note though. That's cool too. Samsung. Yes, I practice with native speakers only. I really tried to make as many Korean friends as possible when I started off, because the most important thing is using what you're practicing. So grammar study by itself will not get you fluent at Korean. Only speaking Korean with Koreans by itself will make you at best conversational. But I know some people who did that, who were living in Korea and didn't study Korean, but just practiced a lot of Korean. They can understand Korean and they could speak Korean, and they thought they were fluent at Korean, but they were not very good at Korean. They make lots of mistakes. I don't recommend doing either one of those. I would say do a both. You need to be smart with books. You need to know your grammar and vocabulary and spelling and all that stuff, writing, reading, but also you need to have practice using that. So conversation practice is the most important thing for studying Korean. What are your favorite foods all the way? I love food. I don't have any food that I hate. I have a couple of food that I dislike. I disliked hongo, the fermented skate fish that I tried that tasted like urine and Windex. I really disliked that. But I don't think I have a favorite food. I guess if I had to pick something, I'd say something like sushi, or in Korea, I love sundae. Maldonado me di cuenta cuando vi iCarly. I understand that word, iCarly. iCarly in English for primarily because of Miranda. The girl, I asked my friends, I don't speak English, and they sounded like Chilona than instead. I'm not sure what you mean. I don't speak Spanish. I live in Los Angeles, so I know like a few Spanish phrases and words, but I don't speak any Spanish. How do you make Korean friends if you can't go to Korea? Online. There's apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, Meep, Meepp, I think. There's websites like Conversation Exchange, Interpals, just Korean pen pals. If you Google Korean pen pals or search apps for Korean pen pals, you'll find something. 매운 것을 먹을 수 있나요? 네, 매운 것도 잘 먹어요. I love spicy food. I enjoyed your live stream. All right, take care, Ivy. Thanks for making such fun and helpful videos. Thanks, Guy. Have you ever eaten live baby octopus? Yes, I have. I have tried live baby octopus. I don't want to make a video about it because at the same time that I thought it tasted delicious, it actually might not be a great video topic. I worry that people might think it's kind of like gross, kind of, what do you call it? Like torturing a live animal, eating something like that live. So I haven't done a video about it. But yes, I have tried it before a few times. I think it tastes delicious. If you're not into that, don't eat it. No one's ever going to make you. A lot of Koreans don't eat it. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. iCarly is my favorite anime. Nah, you got to go for the Cory in the House. Cory in the House is the best anime. Believe it or not, I met my girlfriend through HelloTalk. Oh, that's great. I've met several really good friends from HelloTalk, actually. Two of my friends who I still talk to every day, like for years now. It's been like 3 years. I met them for HelloTalk. So I think HelloTalk's pretty good, but they're all pretty similar. Easy Korean recipes. Kimchi is pretty simple, I think. It just takes a lot of time. Studying Hanja. Talk to Me in Korean has a new Hanja book that looks really cool. I haven't seen it though. Nihongo wakarimasu ka? Hai, wakarimasu. You probably mentioned this, but do you live in Korea right now? I'm in LA right now. I'm going to Korea though next month. I see you're a man of culture, yes. If I can't get a textbook, can I use an app because there are only Spanish courses in my school? No, there's no apps I know of. There's no apps that teach Korean. There's apps for practicing Korean, like games and stuff, but there's no apps that will teach you Korean, or no games that will teach you Korean. Korean friends say my Hangul writing looks like a toddler. That's normal. You can buy practice books, 글씨 연습. Like they have 연습장, which is like practice paper, which looks like a bunch of squares on the paper and a grid, and you can practice tracing the Korean alphabet letters. I did that when I was studying Korean. I still have my book. And it helped. Let me try to get that. This is actually, I used this book a long time ago. Yeah, and you see it has like the different writing. And this is like fancy writing, so you don't need this, but it still teaches you how to do the stroke order and gets you kind of comfortable. So like it would have a bunch of boxes. So you just copy it a bunch of times. So you can see the first one is theirs. That's theirs. And then mine is the second one and the third one. So this was probably back in 2005. So I was still a beginner, but I think it helped a lot. My writing went from like serious garbage to like pretty nice, really fast. And it doesn't have to be that book. There are lots of practice books you can get in Korean. What does my handwriting look like? Now it's okay. You can, anytime you see handwriting in Korean in my videos, that's usually me. Do you know Lingo Deer? I was saying, yes, I've heard of them. I haven't done a video about them yet. I was saying that my voice pitch changes when I speak Spanish. In English, it gets higher. Yes, it might happen. I speak Korean a little bit differently than I speak English too. 한국말 하면은 저도 목소리 좀 바뀌어요. What kind of videos will you make? What interviews? I'm going to make a lot more videos in Korea. A lot of collaborations I'm really excited about. How come you sound like a little boy when you speak Korean? I don't think so. Let's see. I think I just normally have a pretty young voice. I never really got a deep voice like some of my friends. Wangchi has amazing Korean recipes. Take a look. I've only seen a couple of her videos before, but I've definitely heard of her too. Favorite city in Korea? I probably have to say just Seoul. Seoul. Because can someone become good at Korean just by watching Korean drama? Impossible. Never will happen. Your videos helped me to read Hangul. The same way there's no one that can become fluent in English by watching American dramas or anything like that. They definitely help for listening practice if you already know the language, but you're not going to learn from just watching TV. If that method worked, believe me, I would be totally recommending that to everyone here. If there was some easy shortcut to learn Korean, you can believe everyone would be recommending it. But the only times you see people recommend that is when they're trying to get clicks. It's not how I became fluent in it's not possible. Even 1 year is not going to be possible. Like, if you're living in Korea and you're really, really good at languages and you're really studying hard, then maybe you could get really very conversational, like pretty good at Korean in a year or two. But fluent, I don't know if I'd say anyone would get fluent in a year. Like, it takes a long time. You can get conversational though in a few months if you're working very hard. Let's see how I became fluent. Yeah, let's see. What car to create? I usually go to the Seoul area. I'm Batman. I sound like Batman with a deep voice. Do you know some Hanja? Yes, I know lots of Hanja. I studied Hanja because I did Japanese before Korean, and it was very helpful. Korean history and politics are interesting too. I also don't even know if it makes sense, but anyway, once you learn how to read and write Hangul, what's the second step from there? What should you study? Grammar. Yes, grammar. Go right into grammar. Go right into a textbook. You are ready for a regular textbook program or a course or a private tutor, something like some Korean language course at school if they have one. Go right into a full course as soon as you know the alphabet. Once you learn, let's see, please remember the name. Bashal. Okay. For certain situations, it's more fun in English and for others in Spanish. Congratulations on 100K subscribers. Thank you. I'm really happy about that. This is my very first live stream on here on YouTube. Which one is easier at learning, Japanese or Korean? I think Japanese is easier in the beginning and Korean is harder in the beginning. And after that, they level out and they're both quite difficult. Do you know kimchi? Yes, I know kimchi. Do you know of any other languages? Yes, Japanese and French, Mandarin, and Cantonese, but not well. I only claim to speak Korean and Japanese. Have you seen any Asian boss videos on YouTube? But even Japanese is like, it's mostly just understanding now. It's been so long. Asian boss, I've seen a couple of videos from Asian boss, but the videos, I try to subscribe to other people who do videos specifically about Korean language, but sometimes I also watch people who just do videos about Korean culture. If I would want to move to Korea, what are the requirements to do so? Speaking Korean. Are you saying RM lied to Army? BTS member said interview learned Korean from watching Friends with Subtitles. No, he practiced English I'm sure he practiced English by watching Friends with Subtitles, but every Korean is required to do English study for over 10 years. So that's most likely where every Korean learned English from. And then just because you learn English for 10 years, though, doesn't mean you're going to speak English. Every Korean takes 10 years of English or more from elementary school all the way through college and additional academy classes on top of that. And they might have a tutor. They might even start in preschool. Every Korean does this. It's required. You have to start from elementary school with intense English study. But that doesn't mean you're going to speak it well. But it does mean you know the grammar, you know the vocabulary, you've been exposed to it your whole life. So then when a Korean has simply moves to a foreign country for a few months and suddenly uses all that English that they learned but never used, then they can quickly learn English. But if they then say, oh, I learned English in a few months, they're misunderstanding that they learned for over 10 years in Korean school. When did you discover? No, it doesn't mean he's lying. He probably did. That, as far as he knows, that's probably the only English studying he's ever done, is just watching Friends in English. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with what it is that he said. That's probably the only English studying he'd ever done. But he's not remembering that he also studied for 10 plus years in Korean school. And he might not have been a good student, but he still learned that English to pass the classes. So that's kind of a benefit that Koreans have for English learning, is that they all do it in school. I think it's great. Do I know anything about the latest KBS strike? No, I'm not sure about KBS strike. When did you discover your love for language learning? After I started Japanese, I realized I like learning languages. That was in like 2002, I think. Do you know any great recommendations on French books? I don't know any recommendations on French. Le Petit Prince, The Little Prince, I guess. That's the only one I can recommend. Je suis la grande Musi, je suis la jeune fille, for like Muzzy or something. That was kind of fun. Hangul. Good job. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go to Korea next month. I learned French for 10 years in school. Didn't speak French in 3 months in Quebec. Just passed tests. Yes, that's right. Like if French people also study English since they're very young. So French people also speak English. They just don't want to, or they didn't study very well in class. But if they come to the US and they live here for 1 year, then they suddenly can speak very well. And you might think, wow, they learned English in 1 year. Really, they learned English by studying 10 years and practicing for 1 year. Really, practicing is essential. You will not get good at Korean until you've practiced, but you can't get good at practicing until you've studied. So they have to go hand in hand. Keep the Korean comments coming. I'm practicing my reading. That's great. To a non-native English or Korean speaker, which language do you think would be most difficult to learn? Non-native English or Korean speaker. Which language is most difficult, I think, is really just completely subjective. It depends on you. I think Korean was very difficult, but other people might find Korean easier. You're cute. Thank you. Mon petit chaud. All I know in French, yes. Chateau, or what is that, like castle. Du fromage. Il y a des petits enfants dans mon nez. Oh, there are little children in my nose. Stuff like that. That was my favorite stuff in French class. Is there cursive writing? Yes, there is. Cursive writing in Korean. Yes, you can write Korean very messy in cursive, and it looks beautiful. What are the major differences between Korean you hear in a drama? Korean you hear in a drama is nothing like the Korean that Koreans will speak with you. It's very well written, like very well formed. They'll use words that you normally won't use, expressions that Koreans might not normally use, because they want the dialogue to sound as cool and as relevant as possible. So even if you can understand Korean speaking and have conversations, you might not necessarily be able to watch Korean dramas without subtitles. That's kind of a different thing. That's a much higher goal than being conversationally fluent in Korean, is watching dramas without subtitles. Oh, by law, anything job, paperwork. You'll need to get a visa, which a company in Korea can sponsor you for that. That's what I did. But if you just find a company that will sponsor you, you can do that. Your favorite genre of K-movies? I don't watch Korean movies. My favorite genre of movies is probably action or dramas. Action dramas I like. John Wick was one of my favorite movies lately, but I just ordered Korean made simple from Amazon. I hope I learn quick so I understand. Oh, great. BTOB. Good luck with that. And I'm also here for any questions. Though the book should guide you. You shouldn't need to really ask any other questions, but if you do, I'm here. Il a du poisson. There's fish, I think. I can't remember French at all. You once said you learned Cantonese. Yes, I did. Do I remember anything? Neho. I don't remember anything, really. I just remember that it was really fun, because I did Mandarin for 3 months before when I was dating a Chinese girl. That was a very bad experience. That was a long time ago. But Mandarin, I didn't enjoy so much. But then when I did Cantonese, I thought this is like fun version of Mandarin. I loved Cantonese. And I would definitely go back and learn Cantonese again if I had a reason to. 안녕하세요. 10만 축하드려요. Thanks. Favorite neighborhood in Seoul? Definitely, I'd have to say probably Gangnam, not Itaewon, because I think Itaewon just kind of feels a little weird. Like it's not as clean. It doesn't feel as safe, but probably just Gangnam is really fun to be in. Lots of people there, lots of things to do. Cursive Hangul. Yes, if you understand stroke order, when you learn all the stroke order for the Korean letters, then you'll be able to read cursive, but it's still hard. It still takes practice. Favorite subjects in school. I loved English. English was definitely my favorite subject. I was really good at writing. I liked writing essays. I liked writing and making essay assignments. So, Shimman chukachukachukachu. Thanks. Isn't a lot easier to grow up as a child in the West than in Korea? School is definitely easier, I'd say, than in Korea. Koreans want to be 52nd state of US. Itaewon makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I felt a little bit strange in Itaewon. It was okay. It had lots of things to do and lots of cool food and restaurants. But I felt like it didn't really feel like Korea so much. It kind of felt like going to an English American district of Korea. And I was like, I'm in Korea. I want to be in Korea. I don't want to be back at home. So I'm sure if I lived in Korea, I'd go to Itaewon if I felt homesick. But 중교장 사귀었을 때 왜 안 됐어요? Let's just say 그 여자가 바람을 피워서 she was cheating. I won't say her name or anything. I won't talk bad about her. It was a bad experience. I'm studying abroad right now in Seoul and I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Have you ever tried learning a language? Yes, I tried learning Chinese first. Before I studied Chinese separately, I was interested in just learning Chinese for fun. Before I actually sat down and studied it. And I tried learning Chinese through Korean. It didn't work very well. It was very difficult and I barely learned anything. You look like Charlie Puth. I've heard that like 1,000 times now and I will completely accept that compliment. I don't agree. I don't think I look like him at all, but I've heard it enough that I can't argue with it. Coming to Korea is English in the future. You need to be fluent. No, you don't need to speak any Korean to teach English in Korea. Very nice being here. Thanks. All right, thanks Reem. Take care. Elka Waga. Do you know how much are the plane tickets to go to South Korea? It depends where you're flying from. From LA, they're a little over $1,000 for Korean Air. I definitely recommend Korean Air if you can. Much better service than United is terrible. Do not take United. Thai Airlines is okay. I heard that, a couple other airlines are okay, but United is garbage. Oh my G, congrats Billy, you deserve more credits for your wonderful crafts. I'm very thankful to discover your channel. After learning Hangul and grammar, what do I need to study next? Next, you should start with some sort of course. So class, textbook, or private teacher, because there's too many things that you'll need to learn in order. But if you really want to start, you can just go ahead and start learning how to introduce yourself. Is your wife life living in the US compared to Korea? She likes living here, but she also likes visiting Korea. I think she's similar to me. She appreciates the access that we have here to restaurants and prices are less here. It's very safe here. But I'm not sure. I mean, I think she likes it here too. 어떤 계기로 한국어 영상 만든? I started just wanting to 한국. Oh, you're Korean. 한국 사람이세요? 좋네요. 한국 사람도 제 채널을 보다니 놀랍네요, 정말. I think that I just wanted to I wanted to help people learn Korean, and I was helping people online before I made my videos. And when people started asking the same questions about Korean to me over and over and over, I realized, 이거 안 되겠다. I gotta just make some video. I'm just gonna make some video or lesson so that they can watch this once. And I did. And a few people liked it. I actually got a few hundred subscribers my first day, and I was like, wow. So I'm gonna make some more videos. And after a few months, I realized, when I started writing my book with the Kickstarter, that was when I realized, like, okay, I'm gonna really keep this up every week. And yep, so far I'm just doing it every single week. If I ever don't upload a video for a week, guys, it means I'm dead. Probably. Like I'm either dead or seriously injured in the hospital. So you can know that I'm alive and well as long as I'm uploading videos once a week. Because I upload them all manually. They're not scheduled. 여긴 okay. Yeah, there's pronounce double consonants. I have a video about that. If you search my channel for Learn Korean Pronunciation, you'll find I have a video about pronouncing double consonants and strong consonants. How good should you be in Korean to get a job in Korea? If you want a job other than an English teacher, you'd have to be completely fluent in Korean, or very good. Thanks to you learning how to read and write in Korean, but I don't know what I'm saying right. That's normal. Yeah, that's normal in the beginning. Everyone's got to be bad in the beginning. I was terrible, really bad in the beginning when I started learning Korean. It's hilarious. If I told myself I would be teaching Korean, I would never believe that because of how bad I was for the first several months. Words that are pronounced differently than how they're written. Yes, tons of words. And that's sound change rules. And I have a video about that as well. LA is safer than Korea? No, not LA downtown, but the area that I live in, I feel it's pretty clean and safe. Cantonese Reddit. Yeah, that's right. I heard that too. Cantonese is mostly a spoken language. How's your Korean keyboard typing? Yes, I did a lot of practice with Korean typing to be able to type fast. I'm pretty fast at it. I'm not as fast as a Korean, but I'm close. 전 개인적으로 한국어를 가르치기 때문에 이런 영상 찾아보는 게 일이에요. Really? That's cool. You teach Korean too? Are you a YouTuber? 김지연? 그러게요. 전 이분 영상 보면서 영어 배웁니다. That's funny. I've heard that. 그렇게 사람들 그렇게 많이 하는 것 같아요. 그 말을 많이 하는 것 같아요. 막 제 영상을 보면서 영어를 배우고 있다고. 지금 라이브스트림 보는 사람 중에 한국 사람 꽤 많을 텐데. 그러게요. 생각보다 많네요. If I want to learn Korean, do I think I can learn what I need in your videos? No, I don't teach enough Korean to speak Korean to conversational level through my videos only. Has surströmming changed your life? Yes, I realized that I love smelly fish. So great, you can support yourself with books. I know, it's insane. And I feel like really, like I'm balancing on this like sharp pin of like being lucky that I can actually do this. And it just makes me want to work really hard like to make better videos. So I'm like every day I'm so stressed trying to plan the next videos that I'm going to make. And I keep thinking like, oh, if I make this video, would they like it? Should I make this video? What kind of videos do my subscribers want? I don't want to just make videos that will just get views. I want to make videos that can teach Korean or Korean culture and be entertaining to watch and get views. So it's kind of hard, but your favorite Korean keyboard layout? Just regular keyboard. I don't use the shortened, the square keyboard or anything like that. Carry on my wayward. Oh yeah, that song. How long did it take you to be able to speak freely in Korean? Probably a year and a half, I'd say. Then I kind of felt like I can speak mostly what I wanted to say. 아직 대학생인데 한국어 가르치는 알바? 는 아니고 뭐 학원 선생처럼 프로그램을. Really? That's cool. Okay, if you start it, let me know if you start a YouTube. I'll help promote you. There's so few of us on YouTube who teach Korean. Like, there's lots of people who do vlogs about Korea and Korean culture, but Korean teachers on YouTube are extremely rare. So all of us know each other in some way. We all know each other. So like, if you know another YouTuber who teaches Korean, I'm sure I know them and I'm sure I've met them before if I haven't already done a video with them. If you want to start your own YouTube channel and if you're teaching Korean and if you make videos that don't totally suck, I will totally promote you. So I would be happy to help more people to get more subscribers. Are there more books in the works? No, I'm definitely not only doing YouTube. Right now in the works are workbooks for Korean Made Simple. I'm doing the first workbook right now. It's huge. It's taking longer to make this workbook than it did to write the original book because there's so much stuff to plan. And writing example sentences that are useful and that use the vocabulary from each chapter and that are fun and a big variety of questions is harder than writing a whole new book. So that's first. Then after that, I'm working on a video game, a computer game, which I haven't been able to show you guys yet because it's still too early, but it's a really unique concept. I think you guys are going to really like it. But it's a completely unique concept for practicing and studying Korean through a video game. And it's really cool. It's kind of like a cross between a RPG game and a visual novel. 맞아요. 근데 편집을 못해서 시작 못해요. Really? Dave도 항상 보고 영상. Yeah. Dave does some really good editing. I don't watch YouTubers too much. I don't use YouTube too much actually, but I do watch Dave, not because of watching his videos so much, but I like watching Dave's editing. I actually am trying to get better at editing lately. If you watch my videos that I made from this year, I think my videos this year are a little bit better edited. Video, RPG. Oh, it's not that game. It's not that game. That was just a fun game for videos. This is like an actual complete game. It's not at all like the Korean RPG videos. Those were just videos. That's not a real game. It doesn't really work as a game, although it was I did make a game. You can't really play it separately. It has to be played in that order. Let's see, programming. Right now I'm using a video programming language called Godot, just scripting language kind of. It's pretty much like Python. The game, my goal is to release a demo that people can look at sometime next spring. So less than a year from now. The reason is I already have a full beta of the introduction to the game, and over half of the features are ready, but it doesn't look polished. I need to get art. So I have to get someone who can do art for it first, and then I have to make it look nicer, I have to make better music. I only have like a couple music tracks for it. It's just a lot of work. So I don't want to release it until it actually makes people say, that's cool. I don't want to release like an ugly demo that shows the working features. The animation in your videos, oh thanks, yes it does take a very long time. I use my a program to make the animations that's not made for animating. It's just a video editor. It's here like hours ago, you're still going live. Yes, I know, I've been doing this for 2 hours now. 혹시 예능 프로그램을 안 보셔요? I do watch variety shows sometimes. 유튜브 시작은 하고 싶어요. 혹시 같이 콜라보 할 생각이 있으시면 연락 주세요. I can't do a collaboration. 유튜브 채널 있어야 콜라보를 하죠. 유튜브 채널 없이 어떻게 콜라보를 할 수 있겠어요? 당연히 있어야죠. Dave seems like he edits his videos like he's playing Super Mario. No, he has, I like his editing actually. I don't think it would match for mine. I'm not trying to copy his editing style. But some things from the way that he edits, I think I can learn from. So I really like how he does his editing. I think that his audio though, I really think he needs to improve his audio, but his editing is great. Do you have experience in multiple coding languages? Not really. The game or demo free? The demo will be free. I'll make a Kickstarter, but the game probably won't be free because the game is going to be extremely expensive what I need for the game is going to be at least artwork. So I'm going to have to hire somebody to make tons of artwork for the game. Even if I'll make some of it too, but I'm not sure. I'll try to make it cheap. I'll try to make it something that would be worthwhile. Not like my Hangul attack game, the Korean typing game that I made was free. That was really simple. It took me just 1 month to make it. But this game is going to be much, much bigger than that. Much bigger project than that. 그럼 아는 형님 본 적 요즘 많이 봐요. 너무 재밌네요. Let's see. Do you always wear your hat in general? Just part of my videos. Just part of my persona for my videos. As you can tell, Billy doesn't. I don't talk like this in my videos. I'm usually. Today we're going to be learning about a brand new topic. Let's learn about the yo form. You can see that when you conjugate. I talk a little bit different because I'm recording myself. But yeah, this is just part of my persona. Kickstarter hype. Yeah, we'll see. Not yet though. Don't expect anything yet. We'll see. Dave's editing is Korean. Yes, it is. It's definitely for a Korean audience. Do you think variety shows talk natural? Yes, variety shows talk so natural. I would definitely recommend listening practice from variety shows. Learning coding languages, good experience learning languages. It's hard. I don't know. I feel like it just never clicks. I just can't get it. 빌리는 비정상회담에 했었어요. 야, 근데 그렇게 하기 위해서 일단 한국에서 살아야 그 프로그램에 나오죠. 네, 제가 LA에서 살고 있어서 거기 못 나오죠. 근데 거기 나오는 사람 몇 명 알고 있어요. 한 명은 누군지 얘기를 아직 못하지만 아직 콜라보를 못했지만 이번 한국에 가면 같이 콜라보를 할 사람이 있어요. 그 지금 비정상회담에 나오는 사람 중에 한 명이요. How old is that cap? This cap is from, oh yeah, I'll take it off. My hair is just a bit crazy, but I've had this hat since 2009, so it's about 9 years old now. I really like it. Should be invited. Ellen, I don't want to be on the Ellen show. I don't want to just dance. I don't even know what I'd do on that show. I'd be like, hey, I speak Korean. She's like, well, would you like to speak some Korean for us? Yay! 안녕하세요. Yay! And then Billy's got a book called Korean Made Simple, everybody. Yay! And everyone gets a free copy for being in the audience. Yay! All right, thanks, guys. Next, we're going to meet a kid who dances with his dog. So, Stitchy! Stitch도 왔어. 아이, Stitchy. 여기서 뭐해? Stitch, 안 자고 뭐해? 거의 지금 몇 시야? Stitch? 저 로빈 좋아해요. 아, 그래요? Let's see. Do Koreans dislike Chinese and Mongolians? No, I don't think so. I think, there are Koreans who are racist. There are every country has racist people. But I think in general, no. I think Koreans don't dislike any other country's people specifically. No pressure, you have my support. Can you understand Kang Ho-don's speech? Probably. Have you ever seen Latin people in Korea? Yes, I have. There are many Latin people. I love your Ellen voice. Oh, no, I was trying to think. She did the Dory from Finding Nemo. All right, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Have you ever been approached to do professional translation? Yeah, I have been approached for professional. I can't speak. I have been approached to do professional translation before. I've turned it down a few times. Not for government though. Just other things I've been asked to do. Maori show? Maori? I think I know what you're talking about. That's like a drama variety talk show. No, I don't think so. 여기 지금 점심 다 됐어. 점심이야, 거기. 나 거기 10일도 안 남은 거 알지? 스티치. 곧 갈 거야. 스티치도 만나는 거야, 이번에? 스티치도 이번에 오는 거야? 내가 서울에서 만나자 그러면 스티치도 오는 거야? 안 오는 거지. Did you go to college? Yes, I went to college. I majored in Korean, but I don't recommend doing that. I think minor in Korean would be just as useful. The cap is such a part of you. It's like Mr. Rogers' cardigan. Yeah, I actually grew fond of this hat. And I got more hats because I was worried like, oh no, this is the only hat in existence. This hat does not exist anymore. I know the company that makes it. I know the website they would sell it at, but it doesn't exist anymore. If anyone finds this hat, I will give you $100 if you can get me this hat. It cost like $5 when I bought it. Anyway, but I have some other hats. I got a similar one that was made by the same company. Similar style, but different word. It's also garbage English, so I thought it was hilarious. It says, original dandy 68, American from, that looks so cool. It's garbage, makes no sense. And then this other hat I like, which is 착한 남자, which I sometimes wear. I'll bring all these 3 hats to Korea. I just like them all. They're just hilarious. Billy's like the Bob Ross of Korean. 참 쉽죠? Now, just don't worry about that. Everything's just a happy mistake. How long did you take to master Korean? I don't think I've mastered Korean. I don't think you really can ever master Korean, but I would say it took a good year, 2 years before I could be comfortable in Korean. Maybe 4 or 5 years before I actually would consider myself fluent. Do you believe living in Korea as a foreigner among Korean society has more good sides? Definitely, yes. I think it has lots of good sides. I think Korea is a great place to live. I just prefer Los Angeles, but it's not that I dislike living in Korea. It's just they're really close. If I have to pick one, I'd pick LA, but if someone said I had to live in Korea, I would not complain. Collaborating. Yes, I have collaborated with a lot of other YouTube Korean channels. If you check on my channel, I've done one with Talk to Me in Korean, Hyunwoo. I did one with a bunch of other YouTubers. I did one with the Sponge Mind, Motivate Korean. You name them, I've probably done a collaboration with them. If it's a Korean channel. Have you ever been approached by a Korean girl who asked your number? Right? No, Korean girls don't really do that. I'm sure if you go to like a place with a lot of foreigners, like maybe if I hung out in Itaewon, probably. But usually the people who ask you their phone number, it's not because you're handsome, it's because they're a member of a religious cult. Because that's pretty common for people to ask your phone number for like religious reasons, but not because they want to date you. So be cautious if a Korean asks you for your phone number on the street. It's probably they're probably a member of a religious cult. There are many in Korea. Will you visit Malaysia by any chance? No, I don't have any plans to visit Malaysia. Looking for a language partner. Have you learning Japanese? Yes, I learned Japanese for a few years. Korean variety shows I watch are Happy Together and Knowing Bros. Do you ever meet Dave from World Today? No, Dave doesn't. No, he does do some videos where he'll teach English, but he doesn't do Korean teaching. I haven't met every Korean vlogger. I've only met the Korean language people who teach Korean language. I met most of them, except I haven't met Professor O. I guess if she has time, if she's ever in Korea, I'd love to meet her to do a collab, but we'll see. She's really busy. She has like 2 or 3 YouTube channels. 도? 예, 알아요. 캐나다도 한번 와주세요. 아, 지금 캐나다 계세요? 김지현님. 빌리 엄청 빨리 말한다. 대답 로봇. 그치, 나 원어민인 거 알지? 이제 내가 미국 사람인 거 인정하겠지? religious cults. Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, they're everywhere, but in Korea, they'll also stop you on the street and talk with you. It's pretty common. I want to see what Dave from the world. Yes, that would be awesome. I messaged him on a few different platforms. I don't believe he even saw my messages. I can't blame him. He's really famous. But that would be great. I would love to do a collaboration with someone who's really famous in Korea. Mina O, I know Professor O. Like we send Twitter messages to each other sometimes, but I haven't met her yet. But she seems very nice. Have you ever had a weird religious cult experience? Yes, in Korea, many. There's a startup come to the US, tries to create encryption copies of your hat. Exactly. Really? If there is, please send me a PM. If they can recreate this hat, I would totally do that because I really would love to get another one of these hats. And like I said, you can, if you search on the internet, I know the name of the company and the name of the hat and everything. You can find pictures of it, but the websites that show they have it don't actually have it. It's been they haven't made it since like 2010. The website doesn't have it. I contacted the company, they don't have it. It doesn't exist anymore. They probably only made 1,000 of these hats in the first place, and they were all sold and probably rotting in some Korean's closet across the world. Have you ever thought of doing an opposite concept of teaching English to Koreans? I do. I have taught English to Koreans before. I just do it as a hobby though. I don't get paid for it or anything. I do it as a hobby though. 인증 필요한 유튜버 데이브도. 아니 뭐야, 데이브도 막 딱 봐도 미국 사람인데. 빌리더 미국 남자. Does anyone call you oppa? Yes. Some people call me oppa. Some people call me 주인님. Which is just like a joke. Like would that be like calling like a guy master or something like that? Just joking though. Yeah, a couple of people call me oppa. I don't really care. I mean, I'm married, so it's fun to get called oppa, but I don't mind it. Take those history vids you sometimes made and do like review session, really. I know I have a Korean history video, but it's not 100% inclusive of all Korean history, so be careful. Like, don't assume it's going to teach you everything about Korean. There was one inaccuracy. Also, I said that the Lee Sun-shin used the turtle boats in the Battle of Myeongnan, but actually he didn't use them in that battle. He used them in Myeongnan. Myeongnan. Yeah, he used them in a different battle. So that was a mistake in the video. But other than that, it should be pretty accurate. You know, EmirTube. Yes, I do know EmirTube. I messaged him. I sent him a Gmail message. I think I probably sent him another message somewhere else. He hasn't replied. I'm guessing, you know, he's just too busy. Yeah, Chuinim is just a joke. Someone calls me Chuinim as a joke, though. Pilili Oppa. But I've heard Oppa a lot, though. Most fun thing about having a YouTube channel is being able to do things that I want to do. Because I really like making videos. I've made videos since I was 12 years old using my mom's camcorder. I've been making videos for most of my life and editing since I was 14 on the computer. I would love to keep making videos anyway, and having a YouTube channel gives me an excuse to make short films. Like, I'm not that good at it, but I think I'm okay at it. I think I'm okay. So I really like doing it though. Is it weird for foreigner girls to call Korean guys oppa? No, I think Korean guys would like that. I don't think it's weird at all. But it's if you want to, you don't have to. But I think Korean guys would still like that. Not just those intro review vids. Oh, yeah. What made you learn Korean? I just like languages. If you weren't interested in languages, what would you be doing? Probably something related to customer service. I also really like I worked at Baskin-Robbins for a while. I worked at Best Buy here, an electronics store in America for a while. The pay is terrible. Like, minimum wage is not fun. But the job itself is actually kind of fun. I liked interacting with people. I liked talking with people, like saying, hey, did you find everything all right? Oh, I like that. Oh, that's a cool item. Or why are you buying that? Oh, okay. Oh, I have that too. I just really like talking with other people. Is there any methods to master all kanji? You have to write them a lot. It takes a lot of work. Really, I have graph paper where I would just write the same character 50 times. Let's see. What editing program? I use Vegas. Sony Vegas. What advice would you give to... I think Premiere is probably a little better, but Vegas is so much easier to use, and I'm used to it. I know a lot of stuff in Vegas. I'm really comfortable with it. If you ever eavesdropped on someone's conversation in Korean, of course, all the time. If you're ever traveling together with another Korean, Koreans won't talk about you behind your back so much. But if you're traveling by yourself, yeah, you can hear it a lot. And I'll hear Koreans talk about me. It's never anything bad. It's just, oh, something that's American guy, or look at that American guy, or wow, lots of Americans are in Korea these days, or something like that. Sometimes the fun thing is, okay, the fun thing is if you're a foreigner in Korea, guy or girl, doesn't matter. Koreans will sometimes compliment you. They'll say, oh, look at that American guy or American girl. Oh, they look so pretty, or they look so attractive, or oh, 진짜 잘생겼다. You can hear it. And then you can turn around and just, 고마워요. 그렇게 말해줘서 고맙네요, or something like that. You can just kind of like shock them by saying like thank you in Korean and smiling at them, or saying, oh, you're really pretty too, or something like that. And it's just really fun to do that. It's not like bad or anything. It's just funny to shock them and show them like, hey, I understood you, but thank you. 미국 친구가 빌리 씨 비디오 보면서 한국어 배우고 있어. Oh, really? That's cool. I've heard some Korean people tell me like, oh, my American friend is learning magic's buying out Vegas. I think it's only good. Because Sony let Vegas die. They let Vegas stagnate, and they just left it out to dry. And I think Magix kind of cares about improving it. They already dropped the price, added some more features, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the next version brings, if they're going to do anything else, or if they're just going to continue the same cycle. Like, they don't fix bugs. There's just bugs left in there forever. The program's slow. It renders really slow. Anyway, I would probably recommend Premiere if you're going into the first time, but I just love Vegas. I just can't get out of it. I tried Premiere, and Vegas is so much easier. After getting into a lull of accepting a basic level of communication, how do you push yourself? You'll realize you just want to get better. The problem is just keeping your motivation up to do that. Will they presume I'm American? They probably will think you speak English if you are white in Korea. You're really cute. Too bad you're married. Thanks. I would always tell people, if they're like, oh, it's Billy's married or something. I was like, yeah, but I don't have a girlfriend. So, 점심 다, I'm just joking. 아니면 버스에서 다 들림. Yeah. Bus, yeah, usually bus stops. You can hear lots of people talking about you. Transportation stops is really common. Or your head is so small if you're traveling in Korea. Yeah, you might hear people say, oh, such a small head, such a big nose. 와, 저 외국인 진짜. Yeah, something like that. 잘생겼다. Or something like that. Yeah. You can hear that. It's pretty common to hear that type of stuff. How do you choose your Korean name? Koreans honestly prefer if you just use your real name. Like, you don't need to give yourself a Korean name. Do you teach yourself Vegas? Yes, I've been using Vegas since the very first version came out. It was called Sonic Foundry Video Studio. I think it was Video Factory. And I started learning from when I was 13 or 14, when the first version came out. And I've just worked my way up. Now I use Vegas 14 Pro, and it's great. Freelancers, online videos and books. No, it's very rare. I don't think it's common. They understand it though. 로맨스 영어를 언어를 공부한. Oh, really? Yeah, I did French. 로맨스 언어 프랑스어를 5년 정도 공부를 했었는데 진짜 못해요. 프랑스어를 정말 못해요. What to do when your nickname is not naturally pronounced right when you write it in Hangul? What I mean is tuda. There's no way to really fix it. It just kind of comes out the way it is. Just if it sounds kind of funny or cute, then that's good. Just kind of let it stay that way. I've had more bugs with Magic. Yes, Vegas is really buggy. And that's just the way they've always kind of operated. But, you just kind of work around it. You disable features to make it work. But I don't know. I haven't actually used Magix yet. I've only used 14. I haven't tried 15, which is the Magix one. I was literally just reading Korean Made Simple and got a YouTube note. Oh, cool. That's awesome. So 일본어랑 중국어도 돼서. Really? 사배로 들리며. Billy, will this live be saved? I can't stay. I'll probably save it. I'm only going to stream for another couple more minutes. Then I got to shut it off. 한국어가 재밌어서 공부를 해요. I want to learn Korean so I can talk to my bias. I'm French by the way. Oh, bonjour. Enchanté, je m'appelle Billy. J'ai étudié le français pour 4 ans, mais je ne peux pas parler un peu. I speak like a 1-year-old kid in French. I did 5 years of French study. Oh, 4 ans, pas 4 ans, c'est 5 ans. I'm exhausted from watching all this time, not even the one talking. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is my first live stream. I'm going a little overboard. I've at least read and answered 6 of my comments. Yes. 비나 여기서 어그로 끌어도 돼? Yeah. Sure. Do whatever you want, Stitch. 마음대로 해. Like the PH or F sound doesn't translate. Yeah. There's just some sounds that you just can't say in Korean. And if your name ends up sounding funny, it's fine. Please read my comments so I can feel like I'm noticed. Yes, I'm trying to notice all of you. I'm not ignoring any comments. Ways to stay motivated. I have a video about that on my channel. Check Korean motivation on my channel. You'll find one. 4 ways to stay motivated studying Korean. Are you and your wife raising your son as bilingual? Yes, right now we're focusing only on Korean. So I researched that. And kids by the age of 3 will pick one language they want. So no matter whether you try to force them to speak another language, je suis un baguette. Your pronunciation is really good. No, it's not. C'est pas bien. C'est terrible. I know that even if you try to force your kid to learn another language, they will pick the language of the country that they're in because everyone else speaks it. Kids are very smart. So no matter what we do, you can't force your kid to be bilingual. They will learn on their own. But that's okay. So we're going to bring them to Korea and try to get as much exposure to Korean people as possible. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. There is no way to you can't just say, oh, we'll speak to our kid in Korean. They'll speak Korean. It doesn't work. They will speak Korean for a few years and then they will revert to English. That's just how childhood education works for bilingual kids. The only way they'll actually learn the language is if they're forced to use them. And even if they're forced to use them at home, they will learn that the parents actually speak the language they want to use and they'll switch. Have you seen Animal House? I didn't see Animal House. Oh my God, I didn't know. My sister is 3 and she chose English. Yeah, that's how it always happens. So, and they don't teach that really, but that's like a basic childhood education for bilingual is you can't force your kid to learn a second language. They will learn what language they want to. So if you want them to learn a second language, you have to bring them to that. You have to make them be in that country or be around so many of those people that they personally want to pick that language because it's more useful to them. But they're not going to make themselves do 2 languages. It's too hard for kids to keep track of 2 languages. They'll pick the easier one. So that's the only way you can do it. So like I'm bringing my kid to Korea for a few months. So hopefully he'll realize, oh, I have friends in Korea. I need to do Korean. He'll look at all these people who speak Korean and kind of force him to do Korean. Otherwise, there's no way he would do it. Even though right now he only speaks Korean, that will change. What are some good language exchange websites? Hello Talk is a great app. Tandem is a great app. MEEF, I think, is a good app. Conversation Exchange is really good for a website. Interpals is okay, though it seems mostly to be a dating website, but that doesn't matter. I think most language apps are like dating apps, but that's okay. Did you see Black Panther? No, but I watched the scene with the Korean. It is terrible. I had to watch it. So I'm just talking a little quieter because my kid's gonna go to sleep now. I saw the scene where they speak in Korean. The girl's Korean, the black girl, is pretty good. She's totally understandable, and it sounds nice. The Korean lady who they got, which I'm not sure why, because they filmed it in Korea, as what I heard, but the lady who they got to speak the Busan dialect, it's not good. It sounds. I had to listen to it 10 times to hear what she's saying because I couldn't sound. Han Yunji. Yunji sounds pretty cute. Sounds like a good name. It doesn't sound like an old name. Any name that has ja sounds like an old name. So like Seokja, Sukja, Youngja. Those ones all sound like old names because they sound like from the Japanese period when Japan was in Korea. But Yunji sounds kind of cute. But the lady, her dialect doesn't sound good. She says 사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고 너같이. But what she says is 사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고. So it totally doesn't sound at all like what she's trying to say. Yeah, Lupita's, the actress, Korean was pretty good. Like you could totally understand her. Well, first time you can understand her. I can't remember if she says like 좋은 사람들이요, 부자들이요, something like that. It sounds good. Your family are ninjas. I thought you were alone. No, it's just I'm upstairs and they're downstairs. 우리 엄마가 스페인어만 할 수 있으니까 전 스페인어를 배워야 돼. Yeah. Exactly. If your parents only speak that language, but then you'll learn it only at home. So your Korean or your second language will be poor because you only learn it from 2 people. And that's what happens with a lot of people who are ise, like second generation Koreans, is they speak Korean, quote unquote, at home because their family speaks Korean, but they sound like they're not native Koreans, even though their Korean is fluent or, sometimes not fluent, sometimes just okay. And that's just the way it is. That's the way that it happens. And you can't change that unless you make your kid have to speak that language. Make them personally choose to do both languages. And the only way to do that is make them be in both countries. And yeah, there's no other way to do that except flying to Korea. So, we're gonna do that. We're gonna try flying him to Korea. We'll send him to Korean summer camp when we can and stuff like that. But still, we can't force him, and he'll probably still end up picking English as his main language. We just wanna make sure that even if he picks English, his Korean will still be good. Your impression, yeah. I watched that clip like 10 times and I was like, yeah, Lupita's Korean is pretty good and the other lady's Korean is bad. Yeah, second generation, I'm probably the same. I'm not sure how it is with Spanish or French, but it's the same with all those languages that are very different from English. It doesn't matter if your whole family only speaks that language. If you're living in America or you're living in England or another country that speaks English, you will speak natively that language, not your home language. And you'll be able to communicate with your family, but your language skills will get worse and worse. And if your family knows English, even if they don't speak it well, you'll still switch to the language that everyone else is using. It just doesn't work because kids are actually very smart. Kids don't know very much. They have very little knowledge, but very high intelligence. Recommend any good Korean podcasts? I like Sponge Mind or the Talk to Me in Korean podcasts are good. Let's see, new language skill goal, Lupita studying skills to sound better than the Korean lady. It's funny, actually, she does sound better than the Korean lady. I'm not sure, she's not, the Korean lady is not even using Busan dialect. It's just kind of weird intonation, so I'm not sure why they did that. Where are you right now? This is LA. Did I really just stay here for 2? Yeah, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. My parents actually made me speak only English because they were worried I wouldn't be able to speak well. I live in New Zealand and I'm Indonesian. I can only understand by speaking. You mean you can only understand Indonesian? Yeah, if you're living in New Zealand, you're going to learn English regardless of what your parents are. I think too many people think that because they are speaking, she made her own dialect. Too many people think that because they're both parents are speaking a certain language that their kids are going to learn that language. Think, well, he'll speak it at home with us. It doesn't work that way. Kids are very smart and they don't want to unnecessarily make themselves learn a language. So they'll pick the easier one and it's going to always be the one that's in the country they are. So same in Korean. Korean parents want their kids to speak English, so they'll send their little kids, they'll pay tons of money and they'll send their little kids to English camp and English academy. And the kids will go there and they'll learn English and they'll speak English. And the parents are like, great, yeah, they're speaking English, yeah. And then that ends and they start regular elementary school where they speak Korean and they immediately forget all their English. It just doesn't happen. What about kids learning English in Korea if we speak English at home? Nope, same thing, won't happen. They'll speak English for the first couple years until 3, and then they'll realize, wait a minute, all my friends speak Korean. My parents actually also speak Korean. I'm going to speak Korean, and their English will just go do, and they'll only speak Korean. It just doesn't work. I left the stream on during Earth Hour, so honored for your next. Esperanto ne means no, and it sounds just like ne. And since I want to go to Esperanto meetups in Korean, is there any way to get which is which? I can't help you with that, man. In English, though, ne also means no. So, it's kind of the same thing. You just have to get used to it. English is everywhere in Korea, yeah. CJT, hey, I've seen your name before. Hagwons are just babysitting. Yeah, pretty much. My whole extended family thinks I can't understand Indonesian, but I can. That's funny. My family's Jamaican. While I can understand Jamaican patio, I can't speak it at all. They can understand Jamaican English fine. So I don't know what Jamaican. I only know Jamaican from watching Ali G, which I know is not really, or the Jamaican stereotype accents that we hear in America. But I'm sure it's actually a pretty distinct dialect. 미우 미야오. Alright, bye. 우리나라는 뭔가 유행이랑 남의 시선에 굉장히 민감한. Yeah, I think so. Koreans are like that. Koreans just want to follow what everyone else is doing. So Jar Jar Binks, Misa. Oh, really? I don't think Jar Jar Binks is Jamaican. That's not right. That would be a huge insult to Jamaican people. Yeah, Koreans kind of this person has lots of money and this person sends their kid to English Academy, so I should do it too. That's the best. That's kind of like the Korean mentality is, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but the Korean mentality is kind of like follow what other people do. They have a lot of trends in Korea. Like if something is a trend in one city, it becomes a trend in all of Korea really quickly. Whereas the US is much bigger. So if something's a trend in Los Angeles, it doesn't ever make it. It might not make it out of Los Angeles. We have lots of things that we do and say in Los Angeles that no other people do. And some things do. They're nicknames for younger people. Opposite of 오빠. 동생 is what you can call them. 빌리 목 쉬겠다. No, I'm gonna be fine. 왜? 내가 막 그렇게 막 이상한 무슨 막 목소리 하는 것도 아니고 뭐 누가 막 흉내를 내는 것도 아니고 그냥 보통 편하게 말을 하고 있는데 괜찮겠지? UFC? No, I don't know UFC. I've just heard of it. 보통의 존재. I've never read it before. Never read it before. Should I keep doing this live stream? Should I just finish it? I've been doing live stream for like 2.5 hours now. I don't know if I want to keep this on my channel either. I might just do it recording and then remove it from the channel. Who knows? Have you ever thought of starting a Discord? No, I don't. But I am sometimes active in there's a Korean language Discord already. There's a pretty big Korean Discord, and I'm in there too. I'm actually really active on the internet for like Reddit, Discord, all those websites for communities for learning Korean. So you might see me there. I'm there a lot. 하고 싶다면 계속 하세요. Put it on Patreon. Yeah, maybe I'll put it on Patreon. Because I don't know, because it's not really quite the normal type of video that I do for my channel. So more live streams. I'm not sure. I really like interacting through my persona. I think that's what I like to do because I think I can teach better through my persona than I can just talking like this. So I won't do too many live streams, but toile. It's not hard to read. You're so helpful to me. Thank you so much for making these. Oh, thanks. You're welcome. Make more lives. You mentioned last time. Oh yeah, a lot. Because I normally don't do any sort of vlogging. As you know, my channel is not about vlogging. My channel is about I want you guys to learn Korean. I don't really want you guys to know, like, to think about what I'm eating every day, or like what girl I met, or what guy I met, or where I went. It's just I do some things like that on my Instagram, just like photos and stuff. But on my YouTube, I really want you guys just to get good content for learning Korean. So if it's not directly related to the Korean language, I want it directly be related to Korea. And most of my content I want just to be about Korean. Because I think there's plenty of channels that will do good content for Korean culture. Like Professor O, she does really good content for Korean culture. Some channels like that. Talk to Me in Korean even has some good culture videos. Enjoy the live stream. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, so I don't want to because I know I could change my channel to be like targeted to people interested in Korean culture. I could just do food reviews or actually no, if I just wanted to get subscribers, what I would do is change my channel into a react channel. So Americans react to Korean snacks, Korean this, Korean that, and just have people sitting at a table and talking about something and doing something. That's what a lot of people want these days. But I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm interested in making. I'm really interested in doing Korean. I feel really happy when I hear people say like, oh, I learned Korean from like watching some of your videos, or you helped me learn Korean. That just makes me feel really good. 보통 나는 어떤 거를 하시냐고요? 그리고 취미들. Yeah, my hobbies. I have different hobbies, but I love writing. So I like writing short stories, and let's see, I like making short videos. My favorite game, I love playing Team Fortress 2. I'm not going to tell you my username, but if you've ever gotten dominated in Team Fortress 2 by a soldier with the black box, it might have been me. And I also really like Dance Dance Revolution. I'm pretty good at that game. I really like that. I like cooking. Cooking is like my main hobby. So I cook like every day or every other day. It's really fun. I like making new new things. I'm really good at making steak, and I'm really good at making pasta. DDR God, no, I'm not that good. Not like professional level. I can do most of the songs on hard difficulty, but I'm not like a pro. And let's see. These days, I really like doing editing and making videos still. But that changes. Sometimes I prefer doing other things. 밀치면 이쁜 한국 여자를 보는 거예요. 그래, 그것도 맞긴 하지만. Stitch is like Billy's hobby is looking at pretty Korean girls. And I'm like, well, you know, it's not, I'm not gonna lie. Keep your videos focused on teaching Korean, please. Yes, of course. My channel is Learn Korean with GoBillyKorean. So most of my videos are about learning Korean. Let's see, what is my next week's video is gonna be about? Next week's video is a new Learn Korean video, episode 100. Let's see what I talk about. See, I'll show you guys. This is my video upload. All these videos that have this thing means that I made it, but I didn't upload it yet. So I have lots of secret videos on here. This one, the best way to learn Korean vocabulary, learn Korean with K-pop. A special Patreon clip, learn Korean K-pop. Oh, that was a fun video. This one I uploaded, how learning Korean changed my life, North-South Korean dialect, 3 reasons to avoid romanization. Here's the next week's video. It's 하고 있다 and 해 있다. So that's a learn Korean episode. Korean counters I already published. I have some more Korean test videos, like beginner level 2. I have another video with SpongeMind and Motivate Korean. I have a couple new Korean phrases videos. Yeah, some other Hanja clip. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see, what am I at still? Be funny if it dropped under. It's still updating. Yeah, I say it'd be funny if it dropped down below 100,000. Yeah, I'm so surprised. It's like, have you ever tried playing Pump It Up? Yeah, I can play Pump It. I'm not as good. It's really hard because I can't. I'm not used to it. K-pop one play. Oh, it looks like my phone's gonna die soon, so I can't do this much longer anyway. Maybe I'll do like 5 minutes. Do you happen to keep your diary in Korean? I did. For a while, I was writing short stories in Korean. I wrote a journal in Korean, but I didn't like it, so I stopped doing it. 컨텐츠는 어때요? Yeah, news. I thought about that. There's only a copyright problem. Doing like summaries of news is kind of like gray area. You have to be careful about that. So I didn't do any videos. Same reason I didn't do videos analyzing K-pop songs, because it's gray area. Legally, you can get in trouble for that. And I try to keep my channel extremely copyright safe. So everything I show in my videos, I can legally show. Do you or will you have videos on learning Korean grammar? Yes, I do have lots of videos on learning Korean grammar. You can check out my Learn Korean series, which has 99 videos, and next week we'll have 100. My 100th video for Learn Korean. Not my 100th video. I think I have like almost 300 videos on my channel, but it's going to be my 100th Learn Korean episode. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. I make a cake with KitKat in the video. And of course, KitKat does something like a jerk, because KitKat's pretty much like a bear version of Garfield. So yeah, you can guess how that's going to turn out. Let's see. Any tips on starting Korean lessons? Tip is to practice. Practice as much as possible. And don't believe anyone who says there are shortcuts. Like, there's really no 20만 가자. Yeah, hopefully. If you know, there's some tips. There are lots of tips for learning Korean, but there's no like shortcut to learn Korean faster. Really, like, you have to practice. Really, that's the secret is work. Secret is working hard, practicing a lot. Do you have meetup with fan subscribers? I've tried a couple meetups. Yes, I have done a couple meetups before. I did one for some Korean fans I had. That didn't go too well. Not many people showed up. I think I didn't give enough time for people to go. I just suddenly announced it and had it, and not many people showed up. And I did a couple meetups for Reddit. Reddit has like a Korean group, which is kind of cool. And videos of Korean communities in America. No, I haven't done any videos of Korean communities in America. I don't think it would really be too related to my channel yet, so I haven't done it. But if I can think of a way to frame it, then I could do that. Because there's LA's, Koreatown is not too far from here. Any tips on speaking without an accent? Yes, shadowing people. means listening to what other people say like recording what other people say, and then recording yourself, copying exactly what they say as close as possible, and then playing yourself back and hearing where you messed up. If you don't have a practice partner, you should definitely find, it doesn't necessarily have to be a practice partner, but yes, someone you can practice with. A pen pal is probably the easiest way to find practice partners. Just go online and find pen pals and speak to them in Korean, and some of them will stop replying, just they get busy or whatever. Keep finding more and more and more and more and more. Eventually you'll find a couple, maybe a small handful that will stick with you. That's what you got to do. 그만하기 전에 BTS 봐야 돼요. 그거 보고 싶은 사람 많으니까. I can't watch it on here because I can't play the music on here. I probably would get in trouble if I played the music on here. Okay. No, I don't want to play music on here and get in trouble for that. Yeah, but shadowing is really good. I did that with Japanese, and it worked a lot. It was really helpful. Basic Korean letters already been struggling with spelling and proper pronunciation. Spelling. Well, you won't be able to learn the spelling until you've actually learned more of the grammar too, because it's hard to learn just words by themselves. There's no context. If you're just studying words and pronunciation, you have no context to study them with, and your brain is not going to want to care about that. You're not going to memorize it unless you experience it more, unless you involve more of your body's senses. Your brain's going to realize that's a useless thing to learn. It's not going to care about memorizing it. So once you start actually studying grammar, doing a course, then you'll realize, oh, this is important. I need this, and you'll memorize things more easily. But just if you're focusing on separately learning words and stuff, it's not going to work too well. What do you talk about to pen pals? Just like a regular friend. You talk to them like, what are you doing? What are you eating? Where'd you go? Oh, hey, I did this. You tell them what you do, what you like. You can talk to them like, oh, I saw a movie. Did you see it? Just anything you normally talk about with your friends. But I found that talking to myself, yes, talking with yourself can help too. It's not quite as good as talking with another person for conversation, but it's still very useful. 한국 말고 다른 곳에도 헬소생 같은 단어가 있나요? I'm not sure. Definitely helps to imitate natives. I know, yeah. 비디오가 거의 끝날 파되죠. Is there a Korean alphabet song like in English? I want to practice putting Korean words in order. No, I don't think there is one in English. Shadowing is a must, especially for someone like me who's more of an introvert. Yes, that's true. I was more of an introvert. I still am on the inside. I'm still an introvert, but I've gotten better at not being so shy over time. But yeah, shadowing is really useful just because it's so scary to try to talk with other people. How to learn a different dialect. First, learn regular Korean to a conversational level. Once you've done that, then I can give you some tips for studying dialects. But learning just straight into learning a dialect is going to be hard if you don't have a reference to regular Korean first. Reading Korean faster. The more Korean you learn, the faster you'll get at reading it, whether you practice reading or not. But also practice reading. So yes, practice reading too. You can practice reading whatever it is that you like. Newspaper articles are very difficult, so I probably wouldn't recommend that. Maybe something more like a novel or like webtoon or something like that would be better. Or just practicing chatting. You'll get faster at reading just by practicing chat. I can read Korean pretty fast. Even if I can read it much faster with my eyes than I could speak it. So I take classes, or will self-study be enough? If you can take classes are great, but I would do both if you could. I purchased a textbook a while ago. I've been learning Korean every day, studying Korean. Oh, great. Cool. Thanks, Jocelyn. Or Jocelyn? Jocelyn? I'm not sure. You're great, Billy. Thanks, Blood Falcon. Really difference in friendship characteristics in Korean culture. Yeah, Korea, they have Jung. Like, we have Jung in America too, but in Korea, they kind of make a big deal about it. Basically, it's just kind of like being really loyal to your friends. Like in America, we might say like, oh, like I know that guy, me and him, we're close and stuff, or something like that. But in Korea, they actually have a word for that, like that kind of connection that you have with someone else, whether they're your relative or not, or a close friend or just someone you know. It's just kind of like that mutual friendship, trust that you have with someone else, that you're going to give them extra things or they're going to do extra things for you. Yeah, they have that song too, Korea. If you search like Hangul 노래, you can find some stuff. I learned Korean alphabet song that I can't find anymore when I was learning Korean. It's like 기영, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 시옷. 하하, 재미있는 한글 노래 공부해요. 다 함께 불러요 이 노래를. There's like a song like that. Where can I get your textbook? They have it on Amazon. They also have it, if you can't get Amazon, they also have it on bookdepository.com, which ships international, and they're pretty great. Billy, you're the best. Are you planning on making niche textbooks? Really love a Gyeongsang Satori book. Oh, I would love to. The problem is time. Like I've got all these other big projects to. Right now I'm preparing to go to Korea in a week. So I don't have any time to do any other books. When I come back from Korea, I'm going to do my workbook for Korean Made Simple 1, which is a huge project, way big. I thought it would take like a few months to make. It's taking like it's already been over a year. After that, I want to start working, continue working on a game that I've been making also since last January. And after that, we'll see, who knows. If I can keep doing this YouTube, as long as I can keep selling books and keep doing this as my full-time job, then I would love to make more stuff. I'd love to make more videos about Satori because Satori is really fun. And especially Gyeongsang area is really fun because I lived there for a while. So that was my favorite dialect. Congrats on the 100K subscribers. I was stationed in Korea for 2 years, fell in love with the country, people, vision, inspired to study. Oh, thanks. Thanks, H. Matthew. Koreans typically more reserved like Japanese people? No, I think they're more affectionate like Americans. They're not as reserved as Japanese people. They're not so physically affectionate. They're not as physically affectionate as Americans, but much more so than Japanese. Much more open, less reserved. Are you going to Korea for a specific reason? Yes, I'm going to Korea to meet a bunch of friends. I'm going to film a bunch of YouTube videos. I'm going to do as many collaborations as possible. I'm hoping to do minimum of 20, but hoping to do up to 30 new videos in Korea. And they're all going to be fun. I'm going to meet a few people, some people you guys know, some other popular YouTubers I'll try to meet with. Some I already have scheduled, other ones I'm just planning on hoping I can meet them. 아이다, 아이가. Yeah, that stuff. 우리 친구 아이가. How different are Korean dialects? Not too different, but there's some different intonations, some different words. Gyeongsang people are generally proud of, just different traits of the dialects. But if you can understand regular Korean, oh wait, no, you wouldn't be able to understand dialects. You wouldn't be able to understand someone with a thick dialect, but you could understand regular people from all the areas in Korea if you know basic Korean. Because, it's regular people, younger people aren't going to speak with thick dialect. It's just usually older people that speak with thick dialect, or younger people who are trying to show off or trying to be funny with their friends or something like that. Or people who are raised by their grandparents might have stronger dialects. Are you coming to Busan your trip? I don't think so. I'm probably just going to be in the Seoul area. Okay, I think I need to get going because my battery is like dying and I didn't even eat any dinner yet. It's been like 4 hours. I've been live streaming for 3 hours now. Try teaching Jeju-do. Yeah, I did a video about Jeju-do dialect, and that's crazy. Thank you for coming, everyone. Again, thank you guys. I know this isn't, you guys, it's 92 people. You aren't all my subscribers, like all of my subscribers right now. You're 92 of my subscribers, but thank you guys so much for your support. I am extremely, extremely honored that I can keep doing this for so long. And I'm going to keep working on some more videos, going to Korea soon, and hopefully I can give you guys some more fun videos to look forward to. So take care, guys. Have a good rest of the night. Enjoy your meals, and good luck with your Korean. Feel free to email me. It's billy@GoBillyKorean.com, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for coming, everyone. Take care. 그럼 다음에 또 봐요. Okay, let's see. How do I stop this live stream?